Hey guys, welcome to episode 190 of 4 Player Anime Cast. I am your host, Spire. It is 10:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the United States. Finally, the continual snow and rain, at least on my end, has been fading away, so that's nice.
Haha,
But
fuck you, dude.
well, you are also Canadian, so I can't help you there. There's nothing I can do for you here. But it is episode 190. We are pretty much at the end of February. It's kind of I forgot. I need to say
February
actually
or February?
February, I guess. February.
No, it's
Uh
is it no, is it isn't it February? There's an R in there somewhere.
it's
Yes,
there's an R in there,
it's
but it's pronounced
February.
is it pronounced February?
It's
Or
Yeah.
is it pronounced
it's
February?
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to be
supposed to.
February, but most
Okay,
people
okay,
just say
okay.
February. Yeah.
Okay. I thought the pronunciation was different from the spelling. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
But
nuclear and nuclear.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
I get
like GIF and GIF.
it. I grew
I
up
don't
around
trust the
mostly people
guy who
that
says
pronounce it February, so that's fine. But
GIF.
yeah, February then. So
Just say
it's
Feb.
actually pretty. All right, can I go on? All right. So it is pretty. Uh, I would say we're in the middle of the winter season, but it kind of already feels like near. Wouldn't you say it kind of feels like we're already running out of series in a sense? It's like
I'm not.
Yeah. Kinda,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's weird to me because I'm looking at the list and like there are series to review, right? It's like there are names that I want to or not. I guess I want to review, right? But there aren't a lot of series that I'm looking at right now that I'm just like, yeah, I gotta watch that right now. And it's like a lot of the series that are slower slice of life stuff, for instance, like Tabiani or Slow Loop or stuff like that. I checked online and they're just OVAs. They're like one episode OVAs. They're not even full shows. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where did all my slow stuff go? So I'm like left with, Orient, watching like Orient or like checking out Tokyo 27th Ward or what is
Mm,
it? What is that one? Friggin' Rusted Armors or whatever
yeah.
that anime that looked like X Arms or whatever with 3D CG. That shit. So I'm like,
It,
where did
can't
everything
say
go
that
this
about
season?
X-Arm, dude. Nothing
Yeah,
looks like X-Arm other than X-Arm.
Rusted Armors is coming pretty close though. You gotta admit. Um, but yeah, so it's been running out faster than I thought. But in either case. Here are my compatriots. Sorry for the late introduction. Dark,
Hello.
Toast,
Near.
and
Yeah.
Near.
yeah, and Near too. Yes.
Yeah, near. Near. Have you taught your
This-
dog how to sing to the recorder yet? I have.
No.
You should try it.
That sounds incredibly annoying,
You
actually.
should you should if you hold one long note, they'll howl along with you. It worked.
Yeah.
I think that's with most sounds that you try to sustain for a while. But
Good.
in either case,
Oh yeah, oh
how
yeah, Dark. Hold on. Hey,
yeah,
Dark.
Yeah?
What's a New York cheeseburger?
your cheese is that a thing?
What?
What's a New York cheeseburger?
I have never
I
that.
was about to say, I was like, is
Never.
that a thing?
Oh,
I've never heard.
are you talking about the Korean street food YouTube videos? Is that what you're talking
Yes.
about? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so I mean,
Oh,
to
is that
that,
yeah?
a New
Oh,
York
that's what you're talking
cheeseburger
about.
is a
Yeah.
cheeseburger that's 10 times the size of what it should be, and it's
Okay,
consumed
yeah.
in
It's
America,
it's okay.
covered in 37 slices of cheese, and like
Yes.
all of it's raw.
It's like
Yes,
bacon
Oh.
Fire.
bomb or
What
whatever
the deals
cheeseburger.
with
Yeah,
all the cheese in
yeah.
Korea?
I don't know, dude. They were like, I saw a thing that was like Korean street food. It was either like New York or like Chicago style pizza, and it was just
Essentially,
like
like no. Like
squares of slop.
the thing is, it's like okay. So this is how it is. Korean food. Okay, so the first thing
Yes,
is
Fire. Defend yourself.
Korean food. I mean, not even just
Yeah, with
food,
food in
but it's
parentheses, by the way, air
yeah,
quotes.
quote unquote, yeah. So
Several
Korean food
quotation
culture, but not
marks.
even just food, right? Like culture in general, likes to take a thing that people like, not necessarily good, but something that people like cheese or like meat or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
and
likes
ruin it
to
like music.
yeah, and likes to kind of go
I'm
overboard
kidding.
at the
Yes,
speed of light.
Fire.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Koreans
like just
ruined
like
Squid Game.
so it's like if
Yeah.
Americans, for instance, put have like their meme like food trucks or like restaurants where we're like we're gonna bacon wrap everything or we're gonna put avocados on stuff or sun dried tomatoes or like 3 slices
Ugh,
of
I
cheese or
hate
whatever,
sun-dried
right?
tomatoes.
Koreans will take that and like 1 or 2 years later, you'll have like a couple of restaurants or like food trucks pop up where they're like, we have 32 briskets on top of this cheeseburger. And you're like, I don't think that's a good idea. But they
Yeah,
do it
fucking.
anyways.
At this point, it's like Korea's like vision of the average American diet. Apparently,
I
an
mean, that's not
episode of
just
Epic
Korea though. That's not
Mealtime.
Korea's vision. To be fair, that's not
They're
just
like,
Korea's perspective. It's like everybody's perspective outside
yeah,
of America.
New York
But
style, and then it's just a
yeah.
fucking Epic Mealtime episode. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
The other issue is also, and this is not necessarily just with Korea, but I think it's with a lot of places that try to have quote unquote American style, right? And it's like for a while, people have been like, we're the American style restaurant, right? Where it's like with import beers, right? It's like where European countries find American beers, quote unquote exotic, and they try to buy it up and stuff. And then we find European beers exotic and Japanese beers, tasty for, XYZ reasons. But with Korea and, some other places, there's a lot of we have American style cheeseburgers or we have American style breakfast and we're going to sell this, right? And then that solely evolved because more and more people were immigrating to Korea or like Korean Americans were coming back to Korea or whatever. And they were like, what is this, shitty American style stuff? So they started making them more specific to seem like more authentic, right? Like we're from this specific state. The only problem is Koreans only know 3 different states, and that's like or not even states. Yeah, states, I guess, slash cities, and those are New York,
New York, Chicago, and Texas.
Chicago, not even Texas, New York, Chicago, and like California, specifically Los Angeles. So like those 3 places are the only places in America that Koreans know. So whenever you go to Korea and you're like, you see like I don't know pizza or like uh casserole or not even casserole, but it's like I don't know like ravioli or something like that, and it's like they'll always like stick some like version of like New York or Chicago or Los Angeles in front of it if they want to make it seem American. So it'll be like, I don't know, like chocolate. And and they'll be like, it's Chicago style chocolate. And you're like, I don't know if that's a thing. Are you sure this is a Chicago style chocolate? What's going on here? So,
I mean, I've never had chocolate from Chicago, so I can't actually.
Yeah, you
And I
can't
can't
actually
argue, I
verify.
guess. So
You can't. It could be. Who knows, right? But it's very unfortunate. But anyways, that tangent aside, let's go on to our past 2 weeks. How have your past 2 weeks been, Dark?
I've been playing a lot of back on the mobile game grind. I think at this point now I've completely remembering that I've missed Hakozume event in like a dead game. So, not really too caught up on that. Playing a lot of Punishing Gray Raven still. Playing a lot of Genshin again because what? And other than that, kind of just been playing a ton of Lost Ark, some Apex, but a
Yeah, most
lot of
people like
Lost Ark.
everybody, like not everybody, but like at least half of my Steam list right now is playing Lost Ark. Probably gonna get into Elden Ring. Like I think this is the eventual saga here.
Oh yeah, I
So
mean I'm waiting for Elden Ring still, but
yeah. But yeah,
Why play Lost Ark when you could play the original Lost Ark?
what does that mean?
What Diablo
Are you
2?
talking
Like
about?
what do you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think he's talking about like the Korean version. Are you talking about
what?
what are you talking about?
You guys don't. White people.
Oh fucking no, dude. Okay, Lost Ark is better than
Is it?
than DFO. All right.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got 3 dimensions to it.
It's a different
That's all I
game,
It's
know.
bro. What?
2.5
An extra
D,
dimension. Yeah,
bro.
exactly. That's special. All right.
Then how
Anyways.
come how come every class I've seen is just a ripoff of a DFO class?
To be fair, there are probably lots of overlaps
Probably
in
because
between.
all the classes are like generic Korean MMO
Yeah,
classes.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know. What is it? 3 sword wielding female slayer? Like what's the class?
the assassin.
No, it's not the assassin. It's the Dark. You play that class. What is it? 3 swords.
Oh, Deathblade, which I'm pretty sure is
Death,
just called Blade in Korea as well. So
which is also
even
called
more,
Blade in DFO. Also
yeah,
has
even
3.
more like DFO.
Yeah. What's up with that?
And-
I mean, Lost Ark isn't exactly the most original game with its classes,
What are you talking about, dear?
considering it literally just has Monster Hunter weapons in it. You know, like it literally has a gun lance class and a bowgun and like a bowgun class. So yeah.
Anyways, if that's anything else, Stark, for the past 2 weeks?
Not really, honestly. Kind of just been
What's
that.
it like living on the East Coast, Dark?
Better.
Tell us
Better.
tell us some stories about your housing market.
Oh, you mean how everything is more expensive than it should be? Well,
Well, I
I
mean,
live in one of
it's
the
not even
most.
East Coast
I live in one of the
necessarily.
most
It's
expensive
That's an
fucking
East Coast
places in
thing,
the
bro.
states at this point.
What about this? What about that little kid who got punched in the face in Times Square? Tell us about
Hear
that.
about that? I saw a guy
Yeah,
screaming
why'd you
the
do
N
that,
word in
bro?
McDonald's get knocked out. That was pretty cool.
I mean, it's New York. You're gonna see stuff like that like every other
I mean,
hour,
I didn't see it.
honestly.
I saw someone post it to Twitter, so that was like kind of
Well,
funny.
I meant if you just walk around, you're
There's
gonna see
also,
stuff
yeah,
like
that, I
that
mean,
like
that's
every
bound to happen, and kind of like any city, really. I got called
Concern.
got called a faggot by some crazy guy once in Boston. That was kind of cool.
day. Just
Concerns
randomly out on the
growing
street.
among New
Yeah, while
York's
I was walking
Ukrainian
across the
community
street,
over
he
tension with
proceeded to
Russia.
throw an umbrella at someone.
Oh my god.
So how are your Russian relations over there, Dark? Because
Yeah,
the
for when we
Ukrainian
get
committee,
invaded.
yeah, the Ukrainian committee is worried, according to this article
Worried
by
about
Oh, New
what?
CBS New
York?
York.
Worried
Concerns
about what?
growing among New York's Ukrainian community over tension with Russia.
All
What's up with
right.
that?
Well, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
I'm pretty sure
pretty.
any Ukrainian is going to be concerned at this point
Yeah.
about tensions with
Anyways,
Russia.
yeah. Either way, we should stop and
Yeah,
move
we
on.
don't confirm, confirm nor deny. We don't endorse the actions of
Yeah, we cannot
Ukraine
confirm
or
nor
Russia.
deny the existence of Ukraine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ukraine. Yeah, Ukraine. We're not sure if Ukraine exists.
And we're
But
not.
You know-
We
anyways.
can't speak on that anymore. We're not allowed to.
There's apparently a Ukrainian committee over here in
All right,
Chicago,
we
and
should
they have
stop.
a Filipino restaurant. So that's
All
all
right,
I know of Ukraine.
All right, we should stop. Moving on. Near 2 weeks, please.
I've been playing Shadowverse. Shocker, right? Yeah, I made a few decks. I've been
Not
climbing a
Master
bit.
Duel.
No, I don't play
Everybody's been
Yu-Gi-Oh.
literally everybody on my Twitch page is like Master Duel, Master Duel, Master Duel, Master
Yeah,
Duel.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I never really got into Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, I've just been sticking to Shadowverse. Been playing Apex. A lot of Apex.
Damn, what are
Um,
you, a VTuber?
Yeah, basically. Just without the
Without the actual
streaming
stream, yeah.
or the avatar or any of that. But I finally beat quote unquote Neo 2, the base game. So
What was the plot twist again? Something about the black ships are demons?
what?
Wasn't the plot twist in there like the black ships are demons?
No.
I think that was in
All right,
Beta or
I'll-
something.
Yeah. Neo 2's story is kind of just like the I guess a version of the story of like Hideyoshi. But it's like two people. But yeah, good game. Kind of
better than one?
okay. I'd say it's a good sequel for sure. One's got some things over it, although two obviously like two has a lot more enemy variety, which is like just way more refreshing because one gets kind of stale for enemy variety pretty quick. But one is like um one's got some really cool stuff, and
Yeah, I
the
mean, one's
story.
also like the story is
One's
so fucking
story is like
goofy.
it's so campy and silly that like it's hard not to fall in love with it. Two's is a little bit more like serious, like you know, Warring States stuff. Um, which has its own appeal as well. But
How many
yeah,
years later
one
is
is
Neo
super
2 over Neo 1 again? What's the timeline?
I don't remember.
It's not
It's not like super long, but
for it.
Oh, it's
It's
the
also
prequel?
like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, well,
well,
technically, yeah.
yeah,
Timeline.
there's bits after, but yeah, good game. I gotta go through the DLCs now. Other than that, keeping up with mobile game shit, Geo, Punishing Ray Raven. I've pretty much dropped Grand Blue altogether because that game fucking blows cock right now. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Toast. What about
Hello?
you? Past 2 weeks, please.
I don't know. I forgot. Uh, oh yeah, Spire. I heard you have an Eldlik deck. What's up with that?
I don't
You
have
want to
it
go?
yet.
You want to
It's
go?
just
I'll
that
go. Let's
it's
go.
that
Let's do it. We'll
if I
do it right
was
now.
going to play, I would probably make an Outlick deck, but I don't have any deck yet, really. It's just like I don't. The
You
thing
want to
is,
do
is
it? We
like
can do it right now. I see you on Steam.
the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh is that I found like I don't mind like the way the game plays necessarily. It's just that like at the point where I'm just kind of like cycling through all my cards just to kind of go through the combo or like go through, essentially just rotate, try to find essentially tutor through the same cards or not even tutor, but like cycle enough to properly summon the cards that I need. And then it's like the same sort of finishers or like the same sort of cards that give me value at the end of the day. Like, if I'm gonna just watch people do that and, like, kind of or not watch people, if I'm going to have to just, like, read the text and then kinda end up doing the same thing anyways, because what I end up doing in Yu-Gi Master Duel is, like, I keep reading the text, and I'm like, "Oh, this is, like, some kinda thing," but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna do the same action anyways. I'm gonna always tutor for the same card, I'm always gonna special summon for the same card, essentially. And I keep doing the same rotation, and then I think to myself, "Okay, well, if I'm gonna be doing this, I might as well just watch people play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, so I don't have to read through the text, I can just watch them kind of just go,
Look at
like,
this guy.
right through the
Doesn't read his
same."
own cards.
Well, I do. The thing is not I don't have a problem with
Like
reading
what?
the cards,
Like
it's the
what
thing
deck are
is,
you
like
playing? Unless you're playing what freaking Endamian deck, who has the longest text in the entire game. You should read your cards.
No. I don't mind reading the card. I don't mind reading the card. It's just that, like, I feel like I'm always kind of like after reading the card, I'm like, okay, that's like interesting. But then, like, I'm kind of doing the same thing anyway. It's like I'm kind of always tutoring for the same cards
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
what deck you playing?
I again right now I'm
You're
just like
saying
watching
you're
people
tutoring for
play.
cards. What deck you playing? It's not Eldlik.
I mean, right now I like tried making a little bit of like a Dragon Maid stuff, but like
Dragon Maid. What's
I
wrong with you?
what do you mean? What's
Everyone plays Dragon Maid.
what's wrong? I
Everyone.
mean, I don't mind if everyone plays Dragon Maid. I just try making and get a version of it. But the thing is, I don't again I don't mind the way the game plays, but it's like the way the game plays, I would rather just watch it than play it myself. Is sort
Sounds
of
like
what.
you. I sounds like you and I need to duel if you play Dragon Maids.
Oh,
I challenge you to a
uh,
duel right now.
I don't.
Let up Steam.
Yeah.
Let's go.
No, I don't. I mean, again, it's like I don't really like playing the game myself. Is the
Let's go.
thing.
Let's go.
I just.
Well, that you'd feel. Well, it sounds like you need someone to duel. Let's go.
All right. Well, I don't know. I mean the playing the matches aside, but that's sort of like what I felt about Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, like I don't think the game is bad or whatever. It's just that I would rather just
maybe you should not play Dragon Age if you're saying, oh, I don't. If you don't know it, maybe you should play a simple beatdown deck. Let me suggest Blue Eyes.
again, it's the thing is it's like at the end of the day I'm just kind of watching the same rotations of the cards, and I don't know, I feel like with something like, I mean, I guess Magic does have its own share of obviously like, combo decks or like, stuff like Second from before, whatever it is. But it's like with Magic and Shadowverse, I felt like there was a little bit more of a build up at times. But with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like a lot of it is just like, okay, like I have the stuff right now, like, and you can't really do that much about it once I have it. Like, other than the whole like kind of like holding traps or like whatever, like, and that like interplay is cool, but it's like beyond that, I feel like there's not as much build up. And again, it's like I don't mind the way that Yu-Gi-Oh plays like that. I just would rather be a spectator than a player. Is what I'm saying. So that's sort of, I was watching some Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll just be a spectator. And what? Wait, Toast. Wait. This wasn't even my 2 weeks. What the hell? This was Toast 2 weeks, right? How did we get into this? Okay, wait, Toast. Well, but that's
I've been playing
my.
Master Duel.
Yeah. You've been
You'll
playing
never
it.
guess what deck I use though.
Dragon
Uh,
Maids.
didn't
Not
you say
no.
Synchro?
It's not. But Dolces are too expensive, and no, I don't play Dragon Mates because that's too obvious. You'll never
Uh-huh.
guess.
Didn't you say you were going to play a Synchron deck or what?
That'll be it for after the current event is Xyz Festivals, so only Xyz monsters can be used. So and then I believe Synchron is next.
Okay.
Then I'll do my full power Synchrons. But no, I don't play Synchrons right now. You'll never
Okay.
guess. And no, it's not a rogue anti-meta deck either. That's
Well,
also too obvious. You'll have to guess it. What else? There's something about NFTs in there, but I'm blanking on it.
So
And you bought some? Bought some apes?
Hell no.
Yeah, Toast
Yeah.
bought some lobster
Sure
rangoon, like NFTs, but they're shaped like
Show
lobster
your
rangoon.
apes, bro.
A crab rangoon, excuse me.
I can't show you my apes. You'll
You'll steal it,
illegally you'll
yeah,
illegally
exactly.
download them.
All my apes gone.
Toast is very smart. Toast knows that he has to keep all his apes in line. Oh,
That's
geez.
kind of racist if you put it like that.
Wait, why is it racist? What?
Yeah, explain.
What?
Yeah, why don't you?
Yes,
Why
Fire.
don't you let us? Why
you
don't you
gotta put it like
explain to
that?
us why you would say that? Hmm?
Yes,
Yeah.
Fire. Why
Good
is
to
it?
elaborate, dude.
Wait a minute. All right. Anyways, anything else?
All right.
Toast?
That was that one show I finished watching. I finished watching that zombie show. It's all right.
Which?
That Korean
one?
one on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, the Netflix series, right? With
Well,
all the
all of
school
us are
kids and the
dead. We're
zombies.
all dead. Something like that. It's all right.
Was it good? Okay.
Open ending, somewhat predictable ending, but yeah, it's fine. Why?
Again,
So that led me to.
Is it better or worse than Train to Busan?
I think a lot of the stuff after Train to Busan is just kind of like it doesn't
Everything
really beat
references Train to Busan nowadays.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like it's
the
a zombie
issue.
thing.
Yeah.
If it's a Korean like zombie movie, it's like, oh, I gotta make this like Train to Busan.
It's not even because it's like a zombie movie. It's like what I said. It's like Korean people always really like to take the good thing. It's like they are essentially the extreme of don't fix what's not broke, right? So that means that they take what's not broke
It's
and
like
hop on it as hard as possible.
it's
essentially.
like zombies did not exist in Korea before Train to Busan.
Train to Busan is the only good zombie movie ever. Sorry,
It's like
guys.
it's they did the thing, and it's like, oh, here you go. It's like what is that? Oh, it's a zombie. They're like, what's a zombie? It's like, haven't you seen Train to Busan before? And I'm like, ah.
What's a zombie? Yeah, that's definitely that is
But
that
yeah,
is something someone asks.
And then the what is it? The Korean name for zombie is just Jongbi, and I'm like, oh, that's just zombie.
So wait, how do you like? Sorry, I'm just. How do you have like a world, right? Like this is like your world building, right? Like how do you have a world where somebody doesn't know what a fucking zombie is, and yet the film Train to Busan exists within this world, like, and it is a
No, 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 no,
it
no.
is a
That's
popular
not. Well,
film.
it's not. Well, Tosa's exaggerating a little bit. Essentially, what
I'm
they
not
say
though.
in the movie is like they know what zombies are, like before Train to Busan kind of stuff. But whenever they talk about zombies, they're always like, "Oh, didn't you watch Train to Busan? Wink, wink, nudge,
Uh
nudge." You know what I
huh.
They're
mean? Like
like,
it's always like that.
the
That's
best
the
part is
problem.
they're like, oh, you like, haven't you watched Train to Busan? And then they pull out their phone, open Netflix, and then they show a clip from Train to Busan, and I'm like, oh, is that even
Yeah.
allowed?
It's like
Yeah, because it's
imagine
a Netflix show.
like imagine if somebody was like, you know, like video games, like those things in like Ready Player One or whatever the fuck that movie was, right? It's like imagine it's like every time like they reference video games, they also like had to throw in that movie as a reference. Imagine if that was a thing. It's like that. It's like it's not like they don't know that video games is an actual thing. It's
Like the
like
Super
hey,
Mario Brothers.
like the Sonic the Hedgehog live action, bro. It's like every time they say something about video games or whatever, they always have to reference the thing that everybody's talking about, or whatever. So that's the issue.
So what you're saying is
But
that is like Free Guy.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, forget.
We didn't
Oh
mention that in the
yeah,
recording
that's a
yet. Dark.
Oh
lightsaber.
yeah,
We didn't.
that's right. That was
Yeah,
before.
we're gonna get to it. We're gonna
Well,
get to it.
listen,
We're gonna get
either
to
way.
it. No, I'll do it again. I'll do it again later. Yes. But yeah, it is like Free Guy, bro. But
Ay ay ay.
anyways, thank you, Toast. I guess if that was your past 2 weeks. Um, again, my past 2 weeks weren't really. I mean, it wasn't really that busy either, except I had to run around a little bit trying to get my passport renewed. But other than that, mostly real life stuff. I watched more episodes of
Why
DS
did you get
Prince.
your passport? Are you going somewhere? Where you going?
Well, I mean, I do potentially might. I mean, I might end up needing to, you know, fly to Korea or wherever. And if I do, if it's not a domestic flight, I obviously need my passport, and my passport was expiring, or had expired rather, October of last year. So I renewed it and got it just now. So it was pretty good. Other than that, been pretty quiet. Just bought King of Fighters 15. Was playing around with that. But other than that, not much. Again, watch Genius Prince a little bit more because I like that sort of isekai stuff. But not much
Wait, you actually like
else.
that series?
I don't. It's like a guilty pleasure kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like the Shin Nakama or whatever, the Shin Nakama, the true companion isekai. It's like I always call that sort of shit like my guilty pleasure series, where it's like I know it's like really bad, but I kind of end up watching it anyways. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not sitting here being like
Yeah,
I'm
we call
watching it.
that
I'm like,
copium.
wow. It's not. I'm not hoping that it'll be better. I'm not. That's not what I'm hoping for. I know it's gonna be bad
No,
like
no,
all
this
the way
is
through.
just copium. You're like, yeah, it's just my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's actually
It's just
what
my
I
guilty
think is good.
pleasure.
Yeah, I actually
No,
think it's
just
really good.
like
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
you don't gotta tell us. All right, we get it. We get it.
I
All right.
apologize. Yeah. But yes, I
You
watched.
know, Spire, in like the 30 seconds that you've been talking about Train to Busan or whatever, I just
Yeah.
OTK'd someone on Master Duel. Wait,
Oh,
what?
Uh,
Wait, what were we talking about?
yeah. Anyways, that was pretty much my 2 weeks. It's been pretty quiet overall. Yeah, and
Oh yeah,
unless
how was it in VN World, Spire? You got any more
VN World.
spicy takes?
No, I've been trying to get to Nukitashi. I've been getting through a little bit more Nukitashi. I do like it. I've been maybe thinking of going to read what is it, the Kamiyaba, right? The what is it? What is this fucking localization title? It's Dicking Destiny on a Dicey Deadline. Wow, what
What?
an alliteration. Kamiyaba. Let me see. Kamiyaba VNDB. Um.
Where the heck did you get that English title?
Give me a second. Yeah, this one on the Joran, the new like Joran visual novel, right? Wait, let me see. It's kami kami頼みしすぎて俺の未来がやばい。神やば。Taking Destiny on Dicey Deadline. What
From
the hell is?
JST? Hold on. Oh, did you buy it from what? Joran?
I did not buy shit from Joran. But this is supposed to be it's from. Oh, yeah, it is by or it's published by Joran. But I was thinking of checking it out. I don't know if I want to do it. It looks like it's probably some sort of like half baked Nukige, but I don't know.
I like
Um,
how it's on Steam. It's just Destiny on a Dicey Deadline, but then you added
yeah,
Dicking Destiny to it. I
that's
see how it
like
is.
Yeah, why'd you make this?
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spire.
no, it's very. So again, I'm probably just gonna read this raw, the Japanese version. Um, I don't trust. I trust Joran slash Shirobune slash whoever they fucking hire as translators about as far as I can throw them. Half the time they translate lines really badly, and then the other half they translate it completely opposite of what the sentence was actually saying. So I don't really respect any of those motherfuckers out there, and yeah.
What
So
about Spire? Do you like cigarettes?
no, I actually no, I do not.
Well, then
But
I
yes.
was recommended a sugar kiss by someone, and I don't know anything about this, but it says it has cigarettes.
Well, yeah, I'm probably not gonna. Oh, isn't Hachimitsu Soft like one of those Nukige people? Yeah, it's probably
Yes.
Nukige stuff.
A new
Yeah, I don't
story
know about
by Hachimitsu Soft is a mature romance between working adults connected by cigarettes. The theme is
yeah,
a story about adulting, about a story about enjoying uh, s- the
spooning
spoony
over a
on of
cigarette.
a cool older sister. What?
Onesan, right? Yeah. I actually, this is a very tiny tangent, but I actually hate cigarettes. I actually, just because my dad used to smoke a lot more, and I obviously got a whiff of some secondhand smoke, and I know like my nose is actually relatively sensitive, so I actually really hate cigarette smell. But
Who
anyways,
would win in a fight, Spire? Cigarettes or barbecue?
what is that?
What?
What the
Yeah, which one
fuck?
takes you out first?
Yes,
Yeah,
Spire. What?
I
You
would
say you
probably
like
say
Korean barbecue,
cigarettes.
right? Well, then how come you can't handle cigarettes? What is
What?
what are
I think
cigarettes?
those two smells are entirely different in
What
terms of
are
profile.
cigarettes but portable barbecues?
I don't think that's how that works. Somehow, I don't think that's how that works.
So
That's
you're
how you
saying
smoke meat.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Spire.
You just take your
You have to use packs
Marlboro,
of
yeah, and
Marlboros as Tinder.
yeah. Just take the Camel
Are
cigarettes and
you
just
are
put
you
them under.
saying you don't barbecue by throwing herbs over the coals to add flavor?
Yeah, the
Yeah, tobacco, the
yeah.
true herb.
Just spray the tobacco herbs or like marinate the steak with tobacco herbs.
So you're saying, Spire, that if all four of us go on a ghost hunt, you'll be the first to die because
Because
you can't.
I'm not gonna put up the smoke to ward off
Yeah,
the
you
spirits of
can't
me.
handle smudge sticks, so you'll be the first to die.
I actually like the thing is it's like it's weird because it's like whenever like when because I'm Asian and I have the whenever because my grandfather on my father's side passed away every year, we at least when our family was all together we used to um
Burn incense.
pay our respects, right, to the deceased with the incense and with like the feast and stuff like that, to my grandfather. And it was weird because like it's like the switch because it's like for a little bit like I can stand it, but then like when it gets past like a certain period of time or like a certain strength, like I can't stand those instant sticks anymore. So it's like a switch. It's like after a certain level, I'm just like I can't do this. So it's like that for me. But
So yeah, so you have the lowest supernatural tolerance among all of us. Got it.
but
You believe
yeah.
in
Anyway,
ghosts, Fire? I believe in ghosts.
I do not believe in ghosts, but
That's why they'll
that is
get you.
not. That is neither here nor there, and I guess we should just start off with our reviews, starting with Nier. What do you have for us today?
Um, so I watched uh it's called Hakozume, Kouban Joshi no Gyakushuu, uh, which is translated to Police in a Pod. Um, and this is a Madhouse series um about cops. Uh, it's manga original.
Isn't this wasn't a smut series, right? It was like a weird.
No,
Was it a Yuri series? I don't even remember.
nope.
Was it like a focus on a Yuri series, or is it an actual like just like
No,
a
it's
yeah?
basically
Because this
just
had a live
episodic.
action, right?
Yes, this had a live action series. But it's basically just I mean episodic, like I guess quote unquote slice of life adventures of a cop, a
When you say
Kouban.
Adventures of Cop, okay, so is this focusing more on the characters and their interactions with each other, or is it focusing more on like cop trivia, as silly as that sounds? But you know what I mean.
So it's interesting. A lot of it is character interaction, stuff like that. But the episodes usually revolve around dealing with, either some sort of case or, maybe like there's one episode where they're kind of just on patrol because, they're just like
Is it like
they
Copcraft? You reviewed that, right?
um I don't think I know. This is very much a lighthearted series.
Okay.
But so one of the cases, like in one of the early episodes, is they're just on patrol and they find a runaway teenager, right? And a lot of
Mhm.
it's kind of just banter between, because like they're like interviewing this teenager and like you know why they ran away, and this teenager's like had to essentially live on the streets for like a lot of her life, and it's sort of like this. It's a bit of a comedy thing, like semi-comedy sort of banter between like how much like life experience this teenager has compared to the main character, who the rookie cop and stuff. Um,
Mm.
but then like as the series or as the episode goes on, and this kid's like parents come to pick her up, one of the main characters like notices like something's wrong, right?
Right.
And they call the kid back into the interrogation room, and like they ask like, do you need help? like like there's very clearly something wrong here. Now's the time to say if you need help. And it's like it turns out that the dad or the stepdad or whatever has been like sexually abusing this kid, and that's
Mm.
why she was running away, stuff. So a lot of it is sort of just as the episode, it's very episodic, but as the episode goes on, it tackles like you know a sort of a day in the life of a cop, whether it be something as simple as, going to a school and doing like a safety like lesson thing, or, dealing with a dead body, stuff like that. But it's sort of this semi lighthearted, but still like, you know, respectful depiction of police work. And it's quite good. And what I found out when I was looking into this is that this is a manga, right? And
Mhm.
the author has
Yeah, the author
only
was
is
before.
only done this, and they were a former police officer
Right, right,
for
right. I
10
think we talked
years.
about that in the
Yeah.
preview, right? Yes.
And you know it's quite good. It's one thing that I really do um I do like about this series is that uh obviously acknowledges that like being a cop is like a job that is like it, it's like made to piss people off, right? You're giving people tickets, you know, you're you're fucking like essentially dealing with people when like they're pissed off,
It
or
kind of
like
reminds me
in a
of
bad state.
yeah, there was when I was volunteering at the hospital, there was one of the first things in sort of like the introductory like lecture that they gave everybody was like nobody wants to be at the hospital, right? Nobody's at the hospital because they're all healthy and happy, right? People are at the hospital because they're injured or hurt or whatever, right? Or have a disease. So you have to sort of understand when people can often be grumpy. And it's probably the same with police, right? It's like you're not going up to the police because, nothing's going on, right? Like that's not how
Yeah.
that works. So,
But yeah, it acknowledges that, and a lot of the character interactions are obviously between the main character, who is uh Kawaii Mai, who's a rookie
mhm.
cop. She's like super new, right? And the reason she became a cop is basically because like really all she was interested in like in school was like a steady income or whatever. And uh I guess she did like a bunch of like civil service exams, and like her path just like led her to being a cop, right? It's not like something she really wanted to do. It's just like it's just something she ended up being. And then she gets paired up with Fuji Seiko, who's like this I guess like former like criminal investigations officer that got sort of demoted to like being a like patrol cop, um due to like her bad attitude or whatever. um and they're like obviously they're interacting the most. Um and then it has a lot of uh interactions and sort of showing the, I guess, like quote unquote rivalry between like patrol cops and like criminal investigation department, and like how they sort of deal with each other there. I mean, a lot of it's not like trying to be real or like super serious or anything. It's all like obviously it's all comedic and somewhat embellished. um but it's fairly charming. um I do have to admit, some of this series is obviously going to be like, you know, again, this was written by like a former cop, so
Right.
a bit of it's kind of biased towards the police perspective, right?
Right, right.
Um, but
But
one thing,
no, if you come into that like knowing that and kind of making sure that you can kind of then like brush the bias aside, right?
yeah,
The balance, what you're talking about is like the attention to detail, right? The sort of the level of trivia, and then the balance between the trivia and like the character interactions. Again, the bias aside, is good. Is what you're
yeah,
saying.
the balance is quite good. It doesn't
Mhm.
go like super into like nitty gritty of like, yeah, this is how much paperwork you have to do.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah,
it's more of just like, ugh, paperwork sucks.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it'll go into stuff uh like there's a case where there's one episode where an old man sort of passes away, right? He's bedridden. He passes away in his house, and I guess as is the norm, the police sort of have to come in, regardless of whether it's super obvious that he passed of like natural causes or whatever. The police do have to come in and sort of check out what's going on to see if there was anything, any like foul play at all. And the episode sort of goes into detail as to like how long that usually takes, you know, what kind of stuff they usually look for, when they clean up the body, stuff like that.
Right.
And them like paying respects to the body and whatnot. But it doesn't like go into nitty gritty and like, yeah, these are the tools we use to check this and that. It's sort of like, you know, it sort of glosses over the stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be really delved into in the trivia stuff, and it's sort of just like, like this is what we do, right?
Mhm.
So it's a good balance. And uh, the police bias aside, one thing I was very pleasantly surprised with is the series definitely acknowledges that crime and like criminality, like criminal behavior, isn't something that's just like evil people do, right?
Right.
The series very much is aware that crime is something that people like get forced into, or you know
Or
get
they
sort
define
of,
by themselves, right? Like
yeah, it
the
gets
levels.
sort of like pushed towards due to their circumstances, whether it be a bad house or a bad upbringing or just bad you know
Mhm.
economic standing. And it's decently respectful to like the you know the criminal, I guess. Like it doesn't vilify
Mhm.
the criminal all the time. Obviously there's some parts where it's like, yeah, like this guy's just I fucking he's just a bad guy, right?
Yeah,
Like
he's just a piece of shit. Yeah.
there's an episode where they're dealing with a train molester, right? And like he's just a piece of shit. Like, he's just a bad person. Um and understandably, you don't really need to uh go into like trying to humanize somebody that fucking gropes people on a train, right?
Right.
Um like it's just a despicable act. Uh
I mean, also
but
that's like that's a you could probably dedicate an entire series to like unpack the psychological fucking
yeah.
goings
Um
on of like that. I guess
but
that
yeah,
would be a question I would have for you with this series. Does it like how much of that does it tackle? Like, or does it usually stick to more? What would you call that? Like petty crime?
so they're like patrol cops, so they're not like they're not dealing with like serial killers and shit. It's mostly just like burglaries, or like an old guy that got lost in the woods, stuff like that. It's very much like just minor stuff. Um, I guess typical stuff that a cop would have to deal with in a relatively like small town, you know. Um, but yeah, it doesn't really go into like criminal psychology or anything like that.
Right. I mean, this at the end of the day, uh this is a more of like it's still
It's a
like a
more,
surface level anime. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's a
or
bit more
well,
of a,
most anime is like relatively surface level. It's not like I mean, a lot of the stuff isn't going to go, especially in like the 15 to 18 minutes that they have in anime. They're not gonna. It's hard to
yeah,
go into
and
stuff.
it's a more like comedic slice of life series anyway. So
Right.
you know, it's not really gonna delve into stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a cozy series. A lot of the characters are fairly charming. Um, the most like the core cast, there's like four, sometimes five characters that like recur most commonly, and it's obviously like the two main characters, right? Which is
Mhm.
the rookie cop Mai, and then the like her like instructor or senpai or whatever,
Mhm.
um Seiko. And then there's the two like detective guys that like come in pretty often, and they're pretty good. They have pretty good interaction as well. And then there's like one other like female um detective that sometimes shows up, and a lot of the times she shows up as kind of like girls talks type stuff.
Okay.
um you know but Yeah, I mean it's a nice little series. You know, it's not really, you know, it's not really something I would expect Madhouse to pick up, I guess. But it looks good. Um, it's quaint, I guess. Uh, but yeah, it's
This thing's
solid.
description have like description imply that it was a Yuri series? Like, I know Spire
I
isn't
mean,
like crazy for things, or does it have like a light Yuri?
it doesn't
plotline
really
parts.
I don't know if the manga maybe has more Yuri elements, but like the only like spots I could see that popping up is the occasional times of banter where they're off the job and they go drinking together. But those are pretty far. Those aren't like super common. So you know, this isn't like unless they're like just straight up cutting that out of the anime adaptation, which I think would be very strange. There's no real Yuri in this series. It's just two female leads, right? Like,
Okay.
I think it's more focused on like them being like police women and sort of that like dynamic, um, instead of like, yeah, they want to fuck each other, you know. Uh, yeah, there's no real Yuri going on. They're kind of just coworkers.
Okay. Oh well,
I
I
don't know.
guess part of it's just like
Maybe
it.
there's more of that in like the live action. I
Mhm.
don't know because like
Well,
you know
I think probably part of it, part of having the girls was just just kind of. I don't want to sound too callous, right? But it's anime, right? They want to add that like value. Oh, it's
yeah
police
yeah
women kind of thing. But beyond that, it's probably not like it's not actually like Yuri or whatever. I was just guessing from what I was seeing. But obviously,
Yeah, but didn't the initial description like say something about her like either not like falling in love?
Oh, but on the same day Mai chooses to quit, she meets Seiko Fuji, the former ace of the Criminal Affairs Division, who is assigned as our new instructor. Finding her new coworker to be enchanting, but I think by enchanting they
Okay.
meant to say inspiring, but these people
Well, they
kind
mean
of look this freaking
enchanting,
weird.
but in like
Yeah,
yeah. So
purely platonically.
yeah.
the
It's
first
probably
like
inspiring.
the first interaction they have is like uh Kawaii says like she's so pretty, right?
Oh,
She's
okay,
like
okay.
super beautiful, but there's like there's literally nothing beyond that in
Yeah, so
any
that
sort
means
of
that
like
Oh, so it's like a head
I
fake.
think
It
it's
was a head
I
fake.
exactly
I
how
think
that
it's
goes.
more of like wow
Oh yeah, it's just
she's a police officer she's gorgeous kind of thing.
Or it's the classic thing where it's like they I don't want to say railroading, but how some anime kind of create like a very like bizarre reason for the main character to stay in something. Like if you don't stay, if you don't stay in the girls' dormitory with all these girls, then you don't have anywhere else to go, so you're gonna get kicked out. So then like the MC has to live in like in the girls' dormitory, and then the fucking like harem or whatever the fuck story
Yeah.
advances, right? It's kind of like that, right? Where it's like she was about to quit the police job or whatever it was, and then she's like, "Oh, this girl is pretty, so I might stay in." And then from there, the police story happens, and the rest of the whole like the pretty girl thing has no relevance. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. It's the hook, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I believe the mangaka is also a female as well, so
yeah.
there's that aspect as well. But yeah,
Okay.
solid
Okay.
series.
Okay.
Um, it has like a 6.8 on Mall, which I think it probably deserves a little bit higher than that. But Mall
Well,
scores
mall
are
scores
fucking stupid.
are. I'm
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if you like slice of life stuff, if you know, I'm personally not the biggest fan of cops. Um,
I don't
but
think most people are like the
yeah,
biggest fans of cops. Yeah.
just be aware that this series is aware that most people do not like cops.
Hmm.
Um, and it
It
does
takes it in stride.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, it takes it in
Um,
stride.
yeah, and it sort of turns that into uh, sort of a joke. Um,
Yeah.
but it's a good show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So pretty good, pretty balanced, and the point is that it's at least self conscious, and it's not just like wow, freaking police are awesome. It's not like that. So at least that's
Yeah,
a big part, even though it does show it from there. Yeah,
it does sort of try to glorify police officers, but it doesn't do it in a way that
Where it's like
uh
obviously not
it
self-conscious.
doesn't do it in a way that a lot of, I guess, us like Westerners are used to the glorification of police officers. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Where it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, cops are like your last line of defense, bro.
The
It's sort of
warriors,
just
yeah.
like, you know, being a cop is a tough job, but
Yeah.
you know, someone's got to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Um, okay, so pretty good, and I'm glad that you found a liking to it. I think again when we were discussing it in the preview, we were all pretty down on it initially, but I'm glad that you did, you know, take a chance
I
and
don't
check
think
it
we
out
were,
and
but
kind
all
of.
right.
Well, we were like in the
I think we
initial
were just
premise, we
kind of
were
like
just like,
curious
yeah,
that
all
like
right.
Madhouse would pick up
yeah,
something
I mean,
of like this premise
I'm
this
pretty sure
season.
during previews I just called it propaganda.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you took the chance and then it turned out to be much better than, maybe anybody in here
Listen,
expected.
we're really
So.
happy you've been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
Yeah, Blue Lives Matter, baby. But anyways, thank you, Nier, for helping to review Hakozume. What's the full name for this again? Hakozume. Let's see this.
it's
Hakozume. Oh yeah,
Hakozume Kouban
yeah.
Joshi no Gyakushuu.
Yeah, Police in a Pod, I believe, is the English title.
Yeah.
It is a manga original, I believe, and it
Yep.
both has an anime adaptation as well as a live action. So please do check those out if you are interested. And with that, we are moving on to host. What do you have for us?
What?
What do you have for us today,
I don't
Toast?
know. I forgot the name.
You
So I watched
want me to say it?
the strongest sage, strongest crest with the weakest sage. Strong, yeah, something like that.
The strongest sage with the weakest crest, also
Yeah,
known as Shikkakumon no Saikyou Kenja.
yeah. You know what also had a similar title, but was a way better series?
What?
Rakudai Kishi.
I don't know if it's a similar title, but
Yeah, it is.
uh,
Isn't it?
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
What,
Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
failed knight, weakest sage. What?
No, it's strongest sage. The strongest sage does. I
Yeah,
think we
yeah.
just went over this.
What's Shikokumon? Yeah, sounds like a Pokemon. All right. So what's it about? There's this dude who became the ultimate sage like 5,000 years ago. Says this my crest sucks, so he reincarnates. 5,000 years later, then he gets the strongest crest that he wants, and he's like, yes. And now he does stuff.
Nice. What is this? Oh, this is another Shosetsu.
It's a light novel original. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Shosetsu web novel got turned into a light novel, got turned into manga. Now it's an anime. Yeah, okay. No,
Who made? Oh, Jason.
JC Staff, I
What?
believe. Yes. Were you surprised?
What? No, yeah, it's JC Staff. Cause
The art looks like JC Staff. Yeah.
I guess. Well, what's the best? What's the best review JC Staff season?
Wait, what?
One Punch Man second season is
Mm.
7.45 on Mao. Okay.
Wow, listen, that's how you know Mal scores are fucking meaningless. Like,
I mean,
look no
it's
further.
definitely not the highest rated JC
I
staff.
love it
Like,
when my PowerPoints are rated 7.4 on
Yeah,
Mel.
like,
yeah.
fuck off, man.
Shakugan no Sana's only a 7.48. What? What is
Bro,
this?
most of Mao's demographic nowadays are like they were born after Shaka no Shana became a thing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I just saying like, but
All right, where
okay,
was I?
yeah, keep going.
What's the guy's name? Matthias?
Yeah, Matthias,
Maddie
Tony
Matthias?
Sana.
Whatever. So yeah, he was once the strongest sage Gaius, but now he's reborn as Matthias. I see. I get it. Yeah, the
He's
reason why he the reason why he rebirthed himself, because he was all like, "Oh, I have the weakest crest, the first crest," and there's a 4 crest hierarchy in this series, where
Is
there's the
this
first.
sorry? Can I interrupt for a
What?
second? Is the male character is he like androgynous ish? Like,
No,
is he supposed?
he's just
Because
No,
voiced
you're
by.
just a
I haven't heard the voice at all. I'm just
It's
saying it's
Tamaki
voiced by.
Nina. I don't know
Yeah,
who
yeah,
that is.
yeah. It's voiced by a female voice actress, but it's like a more adult like male character. So I was just
yeah,
wondering. It's like
okay,
it's not a
okay,
shoutout, right?
Spire. Yeah, we get
Okay,
it.
man.
You saw a boy, and you say, okay, is this guy androgynous or what? Okay.
I apologize. I apologize for assuming that female voice actresses would have a hard time voicing deeper voices.
Yeah,
That's a very
bigot.
sexist of me.
Yeah, also fucked up of you too. I mean, I was just calling you gay, but you can go with that
Yeah.
too.
Anyways, Toast, sorry, keep
So
going.
yeah, so there's 4 crests in this series. The first crest, which kinda looks pretty sus near. I'll post a picture of it here. Doesn't this look kind of familiar? Here you go. There you go. This crest doesn't it look kind of familiar near.
Where?
In the Discord. There you go.
Oh,
Looks kind of sus, doesn't it?
yeah, a little bit.
Isn't that just like we were talking about the womb tattoo kind of deal,
That's
right?
What? No.
that's just
Are we gonna ban?
that's
Are
just
we
a
gonna get banned on
fucking
Twitch if we start using this word or this
that's just a
phrase? The womb
command
tattoo?
seal, bro.
Dude,
Like,
yeah, like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Fire.
But
I
also,
was talking
yeah,
about
very
command seals.
clearly like 3 distinct parts. Too.
Yep.
Like,
But yeah,
yeah,
it's
does he have 3 uses of it? Like,
no. The first crest, which was he was born as Gaius the Mage or Sage or whatever, focuses mostly on supports and enchantment stuff. So
cringe.
back in the day, it was the weakest crest because it wasn't really built for offensive stuff, whatever.
I
Then
mean,
there's this.
do you mind if I just read off the character descriptions like really quickly, and you guys could tell me what kind of how good you think the isekai is? Like, I'm just gonna go through real quick, okay? Sorry,
I
Toast.
mean, I can already
Okay.
tell this is super good just by the character designs, bro.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, like, okay, so character description real quick. Matthias Hildesheimer, this is the main character, right? Known as Gaius in his previous life around 5,000 plus years ago. He
that's my favorite
reincarnated
FF14
himself
character.
as Matthias in order to obtain a new crest by his reincarnation magic, which would be better than his quote-unquote first crest. He was able to successfully achieve his goal upon reincarnation in the form of the fourth crest. His main goal in life is to gain power so that he could challenge and fight against powerful monsters in the outer space. And
Hell
then
yeah.
The outer
heroine.
space?
The
Hell yeah, dude.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
the
is
outer
it the
space.
outer space or is it like
It's like
the
Cthulhu,
outer
right?
space?
It's with the elder gods, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
he
like,
wants to fight aliens, pretty
Yeah,
much.
but
damn.
let me go through the other ones. Luria Avendroth, daughter of the Avendroth house. She has a crush on Matthias since the first day they met and bears the first
Oh, of
crest, just
course.
like Matthias's previous reincarnation. Alma Laputi, Alma Lapucius, the third daughter of the Lapucius house. She is the best friend of Luria and bears the second crest. Although her magic power is lower than Matthias and Luria, she is good. She is proficient with her archery skills. God, who the fuck wrote this English Wikipedia page?
You should
Oh
just
my
stop that she's
god.
good.
I'm literally trying to sort out the grammar of this Wikipedia page while describing it to you. Look at this. Okay, this sentence actually reads: She's a best friend of Luria and bears the second crest. Although her magic power is lower than Matthias and Luria, she has been good with her archery skills. Who the fuck wrote this?
She has been good? What?
Is this fourth?
But she's
Is-
been good.
Yeah, she's
Anyways.
washed up now,
But
bro.
yeah, now she's fucking washed up. Damn.
And then the last character, Iris.
Iris, dude. It's literally Iris.
Sorry.
No, Iris.
Also known as the Black Dragon Iris, she is one of the oldest and strongest dragons still alive. She's the only one who knows Matthias's true identity after being reunited thousands of years later. Decides to keep it a secret upon his request. Oh god, who the fuck wrote this Wikipedia page? God damn it! I'm literally like having to sort out the grammar in my head right
You
now.
know, Toast,
You
for
should
the
just
life of
read
me,
it
I
as
can't
is,
figure out
bro.
why you wouldn't like the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
this is the best
For the
isekai
life of me,
ever. What do you think?
I can't think of a possible
I
reason.
mean, it's got everything.
All right, so let me
No.
continue with the crest hierarchy. The first crest, mostly enchantments and whatnot, not good for combat. But Gaius the mage made it work because he had to. Second crest, crest of might, kind of looks like a bow. Guess what? It's good at long range attacks,
Uh-huh.
like a sniper, I guess. Third crest, the
Right.
crest of rapid fire. It's got 3, so I guess you're good at rapid attacks. I guess. Kind of like the second crest, but not instead of like one powerful shot, it's smaller shots. Then the fourth crest, the weakest crest, is the crest of close combat, where you have limited magical range, but your close combat capabilities and quick casting make you pretty good at fighting stuff. So that's why Gaius wanted that back in the day, because he was like, "Oh, I don't like my long incantation times and whatnot. I want to and casting magic is boring. I want to beat up enemies at close range because that's the
Yeah.
best way to defeat demons."
So he
So
respects.
yeah, pretty much. So 5,000 years later, he's reincarnates at Matthias, but then turns out the entire magic hierarchy has been flipped flipped about,
Whoa.
where the first crest, which has long cast times and whatnot, is now the crest of glory. It is the most prestigious crest at all. And the fourth crest, which is like the best at close combat and actual fighting, now the worst crest because you suck at magic. And they explain why everything was reversed, because in the 5,000 years that Gaius was, dead, demons took over the world and flipped everything around, and you know, wordless magic and fast cast times were lost to times. And the demons were all like, "Hey, you like spells, right? You should read this long incantation. It makes him stronger." And the humans were like, "Wow, really?" So the demons were subtly influencing the humans to become weaker by
Okay.
what is it? Losing their magic technology to time. So yeah, so magic has regressed back to the Stone Ages. So
This is like
Matthias is like,
it's like World's End Harem, where it's like 500 years, and that's all
but,
it took.
but, but it's 5,000.
Oh, 5,000. My
More
bad,
than
my bad. That's a bit.
5,000.
That's a
5,000
bit.
plus years. Then you have
So yeah,
to.
so the main story is demons have flipped the magic system about, and Matthias is like, "You idiots." So now he has to go. So now he's got to fight demons and build up his magic reserves again, and save the world, whatnot. And that's pretty much the story. But let me tell you about the pacing of the first episode, because there's 6 episodes out right now. Yeah, six
Are you?
episodes out right now, and
You're talking about the pacing, right? Okay.
yeah. So
Okay. So how's the pacing?
so in the first episode, you see Gaius there. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna reincarnate." So he reincarnates. Flash. Fast forward, he's now 12 years old, and he's going to the Magic Academy. So we're gonna skip his rebirth period and people finding about his fourth crest, the weakest crest. Skip all that. Skip 12 years of his growth. All right. Fast forward him going to the Magic Academy.
Is that growth period included in the light novel or slash the web novel? Do you know? Did you read the web
I
novel?
don't read the web. No, I'll read the manga. I read the manga. Yeah, it's there. So let's skip that.
Okay.
Fast
So
forward to
they
the
skip
So,
over it.
so, so it's truncated. So it's very
So
truncated.
skip
Okay.
over that. Magic Academy. His entrance exam is like, "Oh, here I'm gonna show off wordless magic and how cool everything
Whoa.
is
So
compared to
cool.
incantations." We're gonna skip
Okay.
that, and then it's like, "All right, you're in." You know, you pass your entrance exam, yada yada. Hey, we're gonna introduce the other two female characters. Like, wow, that's cool. And he's like, "Yeah, it's cool." That's it. Fast forward to he meets the headmaster. He's like, "Wow, you just transferred and you have wordless magic. Could you teach us?" He's like, yeah, okay. Fast forward a month or so, and he teaches the academy about wordless
I see
magic,
where this is going.
and
Yeah.
it's like, fast forward again. It's like, hey, Matthias, what is it? This the first academy that has been using long incantations and whatnot has been beating us for 65 times in a row.
in the
Oh.
in the tournament, right? Or
Now,
whatever.
now we're we should show them the power of chantless casting because it's faster. When he's like, yeah, okay. So yeah, there's supposed to be a whole tournament arc between the two
Oh, the
schools.
tournament arc hasn't come up yet, right?
But let's skip that.
Oh wait, no, they skip it. Never mind.
And skip and go straight to the finals where Matthias goes one-on-one against the strongest.
The finals, like who needs the tournament, right? You just go to the finals. Yes.
So yeah,
Okay.
so he goes against the strongest three of the first academy. But then Matthias beats him up. But then he realizes that one of them is a demon because they have what 10 times more magic power than he does. He's like, then he exposes the demon, and people are like, "Oh, it's a demon." Then he kills the demon. Fast forward again, he meets the king. And then Matthias is like, "Hey, there are demons about. Those super strong people that are in the city with abnormal magic power. They're probably demons." And so, yeah, that's
So
basically they truncated and skipped about what 1, 2, 3 arcs, I guess, into one episode.
essentially, it's very obvious that they're
Wait, this is in
like
one episode?
This is one episode.
so essentially it's pretty obvious that like first they want to get to the very like how do I say this, like a lot of isekais have this thing where it's like they have the development and you can kind of see like the ascension of of the main character, right? And then they kind of have like a plateau, not necessarily in terms of like how good the series is, like the series can be good or bad or whatever, but the plateau is in terms of like general development where it's like a lot of it afterwards is like the character kind of chilling and kind of killing little like goons or whatever. And the girls are like, wow, we can do whatever we want. Haha, we're all so powerful, blah, blah. And so I think one, the series kind of wants to quickly get to that plateau, in the anime at least. And two, it's pretty obvious that this anime is being used much more heavily as a promotional for the light novel. I mean, most isekai series, if not all isekai series, in anime adaptation form, are pretty much used to promote the light novels and the web novel. But especially this one, with all its truncation, is quite clearly being like, yeah, just we're trying to sell a light novel here, guys. Come on, let's just read it. It's kind of like that, I think, at this point.
So yeah, they built one episode to be like, hey, there's gonna be, we've discovered the presence of demons in the capital, and we're gonna go fight them. And that's what basically after going high speed on episode 1 to set the mood, they slow down, and it takes 5 more episodes for them to complete this task. So I guess they were just trying to build up to this point. And just do that for half the series, because episode 1, the demon stuff, and then episode 6, everything's resolved, and now he goes out. Now he leaves the academy, and I'm like, okay. So you got 5 episodes. Oh, the demons are coming in 3 months. Let's we gotta find materials to make a magic barrier. That's one episode. Or no, they go dungeon crawling for one episode. Okay, to get to find materials to build a barrier. Another episode, they find the dragon, Iris. Spoiler: she's a dragon. So like, oh, hey, and then she's all like, "Hey, you can speak Dragonese. Get it, Dragonese, like
Dragonese.
Japanese." And Matthias is like,
And
"Hey,
he
I
says
remember you."
Dragon D. I got you. I got you.
God damn
Nice,
it.
nice. Yeah, he's like, "Hey, you speak Dragonese," and Iris is like, "Hey, the only person I know who spoke Dragonese was Gaius." He's like, "Yeah, that's me. I reincarnated." And she's like, "Oh damn, I guess I better join you." So yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
okay, I believe you.
Yes,
Uh,
pretty
any
much.
so
And
any
then what is it? Then another episode they find some demons and beat them up. Another episode they find more demons and beat them up. Is that 5 episodes? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the demons come in episode 6, and then they beat the demons, and like that's it. So
Pretty cool.
pretty cool. Pacing
So
wise,
what?
it's completely horrible. I don't like type of series where they try to they skip lots of development in order just to get into the meat and potatoes of the series. It's like you gotta season it up, bro. Don't just drop me into a random setting and be like, it's okay for me to accept this. If you're trying to write a story or whatever, then build up to it.
I can
I mean,
I
it's
can
part of the
get
hustle these days. It's
well, I
part of the
can get
hustle
the
these days.
want, I can get the desire, especially for like that. It's just I feel like more so not even like the level of truncation, but it's more like how you said then it took 5 episodes to like finish that. And it's like, well, I feel like that's a bit much of like a flip-flop to go to. That's way too inconsistent of like breakneck pace one episode. Now this next thing that would honestly sounds less significant than some of the things it's kind of breezed over in episode 1 is going to take 5. That to me kind of the bigger issue, like the disparity between
I don't know. I guess. I mean, what they only have 12 episodes to do this, so at that pace, this is gonna go. This isn't gonna go very far.
Yeah, they're pretty much trying to push it for promotional purposes as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, like
But
I definitely know, like I definitely empathize and sympathize with like what you kind of went through when you like watched this. But it's the hustle these days. We both know it's
all
the
right,
hustle.
now let's talk about the characters. What are their names again? Matthias. He's very
Matthias,
soon.
Luria,
He's pretty
Alma,
much.
Iris.
He's pretty much god of this series. Nothing can.
Surprise!
Nothing can.
Surprise!
Black-haired swordsman.
Black hair with magic.
Black-haired
The
swordsman
lonely
and my
beater.
isekai.
More
The lonely
common
beater.
than you'd think.
Yeah. There. He's too powerful. There's no other reason for the other characters to be there other than just filler episodes. He needs some protagonists, female protagonists to round him out when he could do everything by himself because he's the reincarnation of the strongest sage. And the reason why people saw his crest as the most powerful nowadays is because he himself was the most powerful, even though he had a sucky crest. They're like, oh, gotta be like him. I'm like, oh, cool.
We do?
So
Yeah.
So what is
Oh.
it? What are the names again? Chick with the
Luria.
bow, Arma,
Oh, wait,
she's
that's
alright, I
yeah.
guess. She's got a bow. Matthias teaches her how to use how to use homing arrows, homing arrow magic. So that's cool. Then Luri kind of looks like Amelia Watson from Hololive English. She has the first crest, so she's good at enchantment. So brunt of her the show, basically most of he Matthias calls it, oh, it's a balanced party with everyone in there having a role. But her role is basically just Matthias teaches her an enchant, and she's like, okay, and she just make so basically it's something that he could do by himself. She shows her an enchant. She makes the enchant, and then she enchants arrows for Alma. So I'm like, she's the support character, sure, that's fine. Even though Matthias has to teach her the chance themselves, but you can chalk that up to that as him being a master of the first crest in his previous life. So whatever, I can get behind that. And then Iris is a dragon. She doesn't have crests. She just uses her draconic strength and she punches enemies in the face. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So
uh,
you got your long range and you got your supporter, then you got your I don't know I don't know how to
the brawler.
sure. And then you
Yeah.
got Matthias who does basically everything.
Very, very standard. Yeah. I mean, this is an extremely standard isekai
His
lineup.
weakness is that he can't cast long range spells, but due to his fourth crest, but Yeah, he's got he's a combat mage. He's got CQC spells that he supplements into his sword fighting, so he can do everything, anything.
Right.
He can fly in the air. He can teleport at you, cut you up with a sword. Uses magic to enhance his swordsmanship. That's what his style is, and it's like maybe he got bored of casting magic at long range and not being a cool anime swordsman in his first life. So that's why he wants to do that in his next life. And I'm like, I guess I get it, but okay. But
All
yeah,
right. Well, before I fall
in
asleep
the
listening to the character descriptions,
I guess in the because he's got what is it? He's got combat experience from ancient times. So he's leagues ahead of everyone else in terms of magic
So I have a
ability and
question.
combat and
Why
whatnot.
doesn't everyone just use reincarnation magic?
Because they're not the strongest sage.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
I gotcha.
But yeah, oh right. The reason why magic like declined so much in those 5,000 years, not because of the demons, planting bad magic skills into the hands of the humans, but after he reincarnated, a bunch of magic reactors blew up in cities around the world, so they lost all that magic technology. Gee, I wonder why. I bet his reincarnation triggered some sort of magic calamity. So that's another reason why they lost all that. It's lost magic and whatnot. So I guess I can understand that. It's right. It's hand wavy, but I'll take it.
Okay.
But yeah, the problem I have with the series is it's other than the pacing, it's so boring. I thought
So what?
Maddie literally can do everything wrong or everything right. He doesn't really need the other characters there. They're just there to be like, hey, you know how you like those animal eared slaves and other isekai? Well, we're not gonna have that because we're gonna have just two regular girls that are trying to catch up with Maddie's super super omnipotent powers. I
I mean,
guess
this is a very standard like isekai problem, and it's like the whole like Superman trope again, right?
Iris
It's
is
like
okay because I mean, out of the main cast of those four, I like Iris the most because she's a dragon. She doesn't know how to handle her strength, so she bends swords and throws them at people. That's pretty funny to watch sometimes.
but
And
yeah,
she
it's I
punches
think
a
I think
dragon in the face, and I was like, that's cool, I guess.
I think it's pretty standard in terms of like, the power fantasy MC kind of has everything. So even if he has like the warrior or the healer or whatever, like the girl is by his side, it's not really. It's again, it's like the Superman thing. Like the Superman already has everything, so he doesn't really like,
If you really want me to analyze their party composition, the only one he really needs is the chick with the bow Arma, and that's it. Because
Okay.
his spells
Because of the
can
long
be
range thing, yeah.
yeah, that's basically all he needs. He only picked up Luri because he likes her. That's pretty much it. And then he picked up Iris. He's like, oh, I can't use teleport right now. I can't use the ancient lost magic teleport because my magic power isn't up to snuff just yet. And
Right,
I'm
right.
like, so we need a mount, and that's why he goes to get Iris. But then yeah, Luri, she's just your heroine for the sake of having a heroine. That's it.
Okay.
Completely waste of a character.
Again, pretty standard. Not much to talk about, I think. What about the audiovisual stuff? Is there anything to say about that? It's pretty
First
standard JC staff
first
for the most part.
episodes looks better than the rest, I would say, because
Yeah, again, that's also pretty standard. Yeah, I
in
think.
one of the episodes when he was fighting this giant snake, it
Mhm.
looked really bad. Really, really
CG or
bad. No, it's not CG. It's guess it's just cheap.
Huh.
Like
It's just like not enough frames.
he
Not enough
slashes
frames
with
per
the
second.
sword and that's it. He does
Wow.
he does the big final slash against this giant snake, but then it's just him like floating in midair after that.
The classic we
Kind
we
of
could only have like 5 frames and they were all bad because
yeah.
of COVID
It
kind
really
of
looks
thing.
like they just dragged his
Yeah.
PNG down and then they forgot to move it afterwards. So
Oh god.
it's kind of
Very
iffy. And then he
unfortunate.
fights this giant behemoth in episode 6. It's
Mhm.
pretty. I mean, that's supposed to be the big build-up, right? Oh, there's this monster. The demons were trying to build up a monster stampede, take out the city. So we gotta fight all the demons or fight all the monsters, and then there's the final boss at the end. Maddie's all like, "Hey, shoot some arrows at it, distract it. Iris, take out the legs with your dragon strength, and I'll do everything else." And it's like I don't even remember if they had Alma shooting arrows at it. Maybe like once or twice. It didn't do anything. Iris cut the legs. It didn't do. They cut. She's got dragon strength, so she cut them, but he regenerated quickly. Then after that, they don't show up in the fight anymore. He's like, oh, he's like a hang back. I got this. Then he does everything by himself. And I'm like, if you could do everything by yourself, then why did you even need them in the first place and tell them to do this and that? And I'm like,
Moral support, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh,
gotta have the girls in the
this
group.
is your
You gotta
balanced party.
include both
Okay.
genders. Oh Jesus.
I mean,
Hey.
Iris was the only one who was obviously doing anything, but then he's all like, stand back, I got this. Then he does his magic teleporting sword trick. He you know how Gilgamesh does that? He opens a bunch of portals and shoots out magic or shoots out swords, kind of like that. But Maddie teleports his sword to and fro and slices the enemy up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do actually.
Kinda.
Kinda.
He teleports his sword between the portals and slices the enemy through it. And I'm like,
Oh no, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
man, in the fight, he was just standing in place while his sword was teleporting through the portals, and I'm like, it
Just how
doesn't look all that great.
powerful he is.
But yeah, it didn't look good. Pretty bad visuals.
Any last words on the subject, I guess, or on the series?
Let's see. I mean, Iris is cool, I guess. Oh, and a bunch of the demons are voiced by famous voice actors, so for being one-off characters that die easily.
Okay.
I remember, who is it? What's that guy's name? Takehito Koyasu is the leader of the demons. So I'm
Oh,
like,
classic.
hey,
That's a
that's
very classic
Dio.
demon voice. That's a very classic
And
demon voice.
then
Okay.
Kiritsugu is the voice of the headmaster. I guess that's cool.
Who is that? That's Joji? Nakata. Yeah, isn't that Joji, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's Nakata Joji. Yeah.
And then there was another one-off demon who was also a famous voice actor, but I'm blanking because I don't really care all that much.
All pretty famous, like villain, demon voice actor.
It's
roles.
like,
Very
okay,
classic.
I guess that's their paycheck for the day. Sure.
Can I-
Visuals, fine. Audio, I don't care. I
Okay.
will say that the opening is "Leap of Faith" by Fripside, and if you know Fripside, then you know their one good song that everyone knows. What's the
Kind of
here?
fucked up, but all right.
Well then,
They're all
name
like, yeah.
name the best Fripside song that you know. I got mine.
It's like how Lisa is only good with because of Hora or whatever, or Gurenge.
What?
Excuse me, Gurenge. Right?
You know the famous Fripside song, right, Dark?
I want to make a joke and name another one, but I actually can't name
Yeah.
another Fripside
Yeah, that's the
song off the
problem.
top of my railgun. So,
Honestly,
about,
Lisa
what
will
about
be. I think Lisa in like 15, 20 years will be the same. Where it's like people will be like, yeah,
I just
Gurenge, yeah.
What about
I don't know. There's
level
probably
5 Judge Light?
just start trying to make up a bunch of names with just one of the heroes.
Dark, what about Judge Light?
Which one's
Level
that?
level 5 Judge Light.
Yeah, the thing is with
Isn't that the
just
Kuroko
name
opening?
all the Railgun OPs. Honestly,
pretty
if you just
much.
do that, that's already pretty much like 3 different songs, right? At least.
They
You
done
have
3? I thought they did. I thought they just did just like a remaster or whatever of Only My Railgun.
no, okay, so it was Railgun. It was Only My Railgun. It was level 5 Judge Light, and then they did. Yeah, okay, it is. It was Future Gates. Oh wait, they did Heaven's a Place on Earth. Ah, I didn't. I forgot. I forgot they did the Haite no Gotoku movie opening. Fuck. This is such a long time
Yeah,
ago. This is
they're
10 years ago, 11
yeah, they're
years ago.
good
Sorry.
at what they do, but like I
No,
wouldn't put them in.
I wasn't saying that. I didn't say Flipside was bad. I just didn't. I just forgot that they did these things. Yeah.
Or like, why would you put Flipside on such a throwaway anime like this? That's a waste of their talent.
Hey man, this they got this author got picked up by GE Publishing, and he got picked up. You know, a lot of people bookmarked him, and he got turned into an anime. He must this series must be good, right?
Manga is the
He, yeah.
I read the manga only because I don't like reading books. Screw
Yeah.
that. Give me pictures. The manga's fine. I don't have the manga's good, has good pacing, whatever, good world building. I just don't like the anime's pacing,
Okay.
whatnot.
Can,
Stories, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll
Although,
I'll
although
I'll,
can I
I'll
say, can
throw
I
it above
the
them.
funny thing is, can I say like, so you know how like for instance like the author for like Kyoka, for instance, he wrote like a pretty much like completely different series. Like Nisio Isin writes like completely different series. So it's like when like with like people that are like pretty prolific at like literary stuff, they often tend to like branch out into other stuff and kind of like, you know, try out different things, try to expand their horizons. This guy, this who is this? Shinko Shoto. This guy wrote, I believe, one other web novel. And yeah, this guy wrote one other web novel, and it is called My Isekai Life, or I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah! Wait, which one is this?
This is My Isekai Life. If you scroll down, you can see like the other stuff that he wrote. I believe it's in
Oh, is
yeah.
this the freaking slime one?
Yeah,
Oh, I
this
hate
is the
that.
one where he becomes a strongest sage because of the slimes he keeps or whatever it is. This is
He's
the
not
other
even a
stuff
sage.
he
He's
wrote.
a tamer.
Yeah, this is the other Isekai Shusetsu web novel he wrote. So you know this guy is quality, you know.
They
Um,
literally, is it really just my isekai life? Oh.
yeah, it's called Tens. So the Japanese title is called
Tensei
Tensei
Kenja.
Kenja no
That's the one I know by.
Isekai Raifu. It's literally the strongest sage, the Isekai life of the strongest sage or the genius sage, I believe. Um, so yeah, or sorry, the reincarnated sage. The
How,
reincarnated sage is Isekai life. Yeah. I guess
it's called what it's called a second character. What is it? Second character class, right?
yeah, second character class.
Okay, so how he gets it is he's a monster tamer, but he tames so many slimes that he gains so much magical knowledge because he's using his slimes that he becomes a sage. Like,
Yeah.
okay, man,
You
point
know,
me, my
very
dude.
very classic, thought provoking series for sure.
I don't like his.
Uh,
I don't. Again, I read the manga of this because it's there. I don't like
mhm.
that guy's stupid face, stupid dumb look on his
Anyways,
face. Yeah, where are we going with this?
so if any last words, Toast, over the series?
Six episodes and you're gonna give me this shitty pacing? I'm not. I don't like it at all. It's
Very
again. That's
unfortunate.
I'm gonna keep saying that's my biggest turn off of this series.
Yeah. Okay.
Just read
No,
the manga, I
it's
guess, for
understandable. Yeah.
better pacing,
Mhm,
whatnot. Voice acting, they're fine.
mhm.
Fine, I guess.
A lot of newer people, I'd
You
say.
like dragon maids, right? Spire, here you go. Here's Iris. Yes. Um, Would I recommend it? Uh, if you can tolerate the bullshit of episode 1, I guess it's okay. So I'll rate it. Are the waifus in this series good? Not really. No. Who
Yeah.
cares? Again, they're throwaway characters that don't really. They're throwaway to the point that they're pretty much useless in battle. They don't even need them. Some other isekais, it's like, hey, I'm. And compared to other isekais who have, waifus in their party or female characters, at least they do something. But they don't need to be handheld by the main character as much as the ones in this series. So they're not good in this series. It sucks.
Okay.
And so what am I gonna rate it? I'll rate it a I'll rate it a 7.3 out of 10. I'll give it a mall score of that.
This is a mall score.
Would I
All
recommend
right.
it? Not only if you can get past episode 1.
All right. Well, very unfortunate, but I guess if you do want to check this series out, not necessarily the anime,
Why
please
would
do, I
you
guess,
though?
take Toast's advice and check out the manga or the light novel or the web novel or whichever versions, I guess. Don't truncate the beginning development and stuff like that. So please do check those out if you are interested.
In,
And
on on
yeah.
on the other hand, there's 2 other isekais that have yet to be reviewed that are much better than this series. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So obviously we'll definitely look
it's a
forward
wa-
to.
it's a waste of it. Wait, Spire, did you cover the?
A waste of good isekai.
Yes, Spire, did you cover the stupid? I'm not the sage, but I actually am. Kenja no Denshi. Did you cover that?
No, I did not. I
I
did not.
believe he did.
God damn it! Someone has to cover it.
All
Someone has to
right.
cover that, right? All right.
All right. Well, moving on. Again, thank you, Toast, for helping to cover um the strongest sage with the weakest crest. Shikkakumon
More
no
like the
Saikyou Kenja.
strongest. More like the strongest sage with the weakest party members. Jesus.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Uh Again, in Japanese it is known as Shikkakumon no Saikyou Kenja or Shikkakumon. So please do check that out if you are interested.
Or just
Moving
read the
on.
manga /
Or
light
yeah,
novel.
yeah, yeah. Moving on real quickly, I guess I'm next up, and I am going to quickly cover Tribe 9. So Tribe 9
Is this the
is
Danganronpa series?
it is yeah, the part of the character designs, or I guess one of the character design is done by, I believe, Kodaka Kazutaka, who is part of the people who is one of the sort of original character designers behind doing Danganronpa stuff, I believe, right?
Man, can you believe that Danganronpa is
Otherwise,
still the
Sakuri.
Spire? Can you believe that Danganronpa is still the gold standard for modernized death games?
Gold standard,
Squid Game?
I guess. Yeah, Squid Game. What
Ever
about
heard
Squid
of it?
Game?
Is Squid Game an anime though?
Yeah, wait, that's what they should have said in Tribe 9.
Yeah.
Squid Game.
Yeah, refer to Squid Game, but
Squid
yeah,
Game.
let me go over real quick. So Tribe 9, I guess I'll just talk about the specs real quick here. Done by, there's a lot of subcontractors here, mainly headed by Light and Film Studio. Light and Film Studio, known for some of their work is, what is it? Wow, they did Ayura, huh? Ayura, Akashic Records, Best, Rokutanashi no Akashic Records, something like that. Of Bastard Magical Instructor,
Is that the one
Aratsenki.
with the wolf girl?
Yeah, I forget. They have as Miss Beelzebub likes. I forgot that they did that one. They did they did Kishikugakushu no Juliet, right? Boarding School Juliet. They did Build Divide, huh? They did Cells at Work, Code Black. They've done a lot of stuff recently. Um, a lot of smaller stuff, I would say. So that, JC staff, Felix Films are helping them out. What else? Director, producer, director mix is what is this? Is both are relatively new to doing like overall direction supervision of like an entire series. So producer is Yamaguchi Shuhei, who kind of started with like doing stuff like a lot of multimedia, like idol mobile game stuff. So he started out with the latest Love Live Nijigasaki High School Club, as well as Cinderella Night. And he started with that, and then now this is his first time being a general producer instead of just helping out with stuff. Director is Aoki. This, I believe he's mainly just done like key animation for like episodes here and there, and this again is, uh, I believe his first time doing a full anime series direction. The other stuff is pretty. They brought in pretty standard people here. What is it? Yokota Michiko for series composition, doing pretty prolific person here. Takata Masafumi heading the music. He did stuff for Earth Defense Force, for Super Smash Bros, for Danganronpa, of course. No More Heroes, so on. Uh, Scenario, yeah, and Scenario being helped by Scenario, as well as the original character designs, are pretty much all people who have been working with Danganronpa as well. Komatsaki Rui, Kodaka Kazaka, as well as a little bit of help from relatively prolific character design / artist Yamamoto Yosuke. So they have a little bit of mixture of the top heavy end is relatively new, but the people who are heading the more detailed stuff, animation, music stuff, are all kind of in the know with regards to Danganronpa style artwork, as well as general prolific stuff with, uh, I guess I want to say more on the game music side and game art side, which fits because this is part of a promotion. This is part of a multimedia project effort going on where Tribe 9 itself is another mobile game, smartphone game. So this anime is part of its promotion, promotion. And you know how everybody in this podcast feels about MOBA series, right? It's
Love them. Can't get
yeah,
enough
they're
of them.
great. They're great. But it's by the Danganronpa guy, or it's being helped design, or the character designs are by the Danganronpa guys. So everybody obviously is like, oh wow, maybe this will have something decent, and it was a pretty obvious set of expectations going in. But what else is there? Voice actor, not much. Ishita Akira, Fuchika Maimai, Horia Shun, taking up the lead roles here, and a lot of good people in the supporting cast. Suabi Junichi, Terashima Junta, let's see, Ono Kensho, Matsumikako Kondoreina, Ono Daisuke, Ochai Fukushi, let's see this, yeah, Takeuchi Shunsuke, stuff like that. It's a pretty classic, standard voice acting cast here. Um, so yeah, what Tribe 9 is it's again part of multimedia promotion, and the plot is that I guess I'll just read this plot summary. The year is 20XX. In quote unquote Neo Tokyo country, the youth form tribes to find a place to belong. Conflicts between tribes intensify, and the government passes the XB law so that these conflicts can only be resolved through extreme baseball. Players can throw, hit the ball, and each other, and the radical sport garners an enthusiastic audience. A bullied boy named Harushiro Kane who wants to become stronger, and Taiga, who came from across the sea, meet the strongest XP player and leader of the Minato tribe, Kamiya Shun. He will lead them against a man who aims to control all the tribes. So yeah, this series is bad. I don't know what else to say. It's like it kind of gets into it.
No way.
So yeah, it gets into it. It's one of the gay tribes. I think they're all the gay tribes, right? Yeah, but
So
the
why
the
is it
point.
called Tribe 9? Are there 9 tribes in baseball?
I think
There's 9 innings in baseball. Are there 9 teams? nine positions. I don't know much about
I
baseball.
forget how many teams there are. I don't
How
think
many
it
positions
really.
are in baseball? Are there 9?
I sh-
Uh, isn't it 9? Yeah.
My God, it's like 999.
Yeah.
9
Toast
innings,
is like
9
fucking having
players.
a schizo
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah,
The
you
numbers
know that
Mason.
meme with like
He's using
the numbers
numbers.
appearing? Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, the thing is, I mean, I'll explain a little quirk that I don't like a little bit, and then go into like the bigger picture of why I don't like it. One of the little quirks that I don't like is that it doesn't really like it's very flippant at times where it's like, oh, extreme baseball things are happening, and then here are the rules, some of the rules for extreme baseball, and then not only does extreme baseball not happen a lot of the time in the later episodes, in the later episodes, like a lot of it's like kind of talking and just like drama and like things that are not related to baseball, like kidnappings or whatever, like happening. But then, like, when baseball gets brought up, it's something like, "Oh, right, extreme baseball," and then like they
Oh,
just
that's
have
right.
some.
I forgot
Yeah.
what this series was about.
Yeah, and then it's not even like structured like baseball things. They just have like there's like mention of like a base, or like here's a ball here, or here's a baseball, here's a bat or something like that, and then they just kind of have it in during the episode, and then they kind of just like use it to like either hit the person, or like just pretend like, just like, oh, we gotta have a baseball moment where we gotta strike the ball with a bat, and then boom, and there's things are, and it's
So,
very like scattered. It's
so is
not
it like
really.
Blurns ball, or tell us about the rules of this baseball?
Yeah, how does it work?
It's like, how do I say this? It's like
It's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
like
First.
baseball.
Yeah, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh!
But you
First
hit.
season if they had only talking like 80% of the time. It's like imagine that. So it's like not only is there just a lot of talking and not like actual card playing, but it's like when they actually play the game, like half of it just like doesn't really make sense. It's like
So,
that.
so what is this? The games are similar to baseball, except there are fewer
So
restrictions on equipment. The field can be big as an entire ward, and the only ways to get it out require striking out the batter, or knocking out a base runner while holding the ball. So like,
Yeah.
so it is like Blurns ball.
so like,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it is. It is Blurns ball.
so like so if you can shoot the batter with a gun and then hit them with the ball, and that counts.
Well, it
Like,
Probably.
sounds like as long as you're holding the ball, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, no, there's a
You can just hold the ball with one hand and shoot him with the other.
no. There's a scene where like one of the evil people, or one of like bad dudes. I wouldn't say like evil, but it's like one of those like bad goon people like tried to hop on one of the supporting characters, and the guy is like holding the baseball, and he just like slams a baseball into their face while he's holding it. I'm like,
sounds
what the
about right.
fuck? I'm like, what's going on right
So,
now?
are there no restrictions on bats? Or like, is there an entire team of people holding bats just to beat them up before they take the
So it's like
ball?
part of it's like there are like specific weapons. Like there's a thing called the beam bat that like only the like really powerful can wield. Like for instance, like the Kamiya Shun guy, the main leader of the Minato tribe, that guy can hold. And uh, if it's like a in Battle Angel Alita, that like the old dude was holding that like stick with like the rocket in the
Yeah.
hammer, right? It's like that, where it's like the bat has like rocket boosters on one side, and it like shoots out on the other hand, so you can like swing it better, more powerfully, or something like that. It's like that.
Uh-huh.
So you have like weapons
Shit,
like
rocket
that.
bat.
So it's a Fallout weapon.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just a.
So, like, does
Okay.
one of them have what, rocket skates, so they can cheat their way around the bases better?
Also,
Well,
question: how do they determine who is like at bat and who isn't,
I don't
and like
I
who
forget. Like
has the
this
ball?
there's like, honestly, like the rules don't really like matters like exponentially less. And not even like pretty much like it's like they make like vague references to like bases and like things happening, but like as the story progresses, more and more they're just like talking about their tribe and like like how we gotta get back together, who like the bad guys are, and like the drama like behind it all and stuff like that. And it's much more of that, and like not. Cecilia was like only those that visit the cash shop maybe will it. It's a pay to win bad, but it's microtransactions, $5 worth bad, but it's like the rules matter much and much less as the episodes go on, and it's like it's both to be expected and just like it's just not good. But it's like um this sort of represents like a bigger problem that I want to discuss in this series, where it's like not only does it have bad a balance of like uh the baseball like quote unquote game, as well as like the drama and like the character development and everything else. It's just like first of all it juggles that very poorly, right? Where you're always thinking like, man, there's a lot of like weird character development going on right now when the plot is like something else is happening in the plot. And then when like the plot is happening and the character development, like they're balancing that, you're thinking like, okay, well, where did the baseball part go? And then like they're playing baseball and you're like, yeah, sure, I guess. And then like I know that like in 5 minutes they're gonna go back to being like, super kind of like edgy with the drama behind the game or whatever it is. So I think the balance is not only bad, but I think the overall package is just not good. And it's super extreme, like it could obviously extreme baseball, but it's like it has like these extreme scenes like like in episode 1 for instance, like the guy takes the bean bat and like strikes the baseball and shoots the baseball like Shaolin soccer style and like bashes the evil guy's like armored suit. So the armored suit guy like pitches the baseball, he bats it back and he just blows up, right? And my thought at the time was like, this is like super cheesy, but why don't I like it? And I was talking with Nier before the podcast, and I was kind of comparing to Bento. And Bento is like a series from way long ago. It's like 2011, right, or something like that.
Why
Yeah.
Bento and not crap? What's that series? Tenjo Tenge.
Bento is 2011. Yeah, so Bento uh was very cheesy and it had this like real good charm. And I really like that series. I think that's like one of the series that I would always point to when like I want to say like this is a cheesy extreme series
What
that
about
turned out to be very good.
what
Right?
about Keijo?
Keijo is appeals to a different sense. And like it's still extreme, but it's like it's still like a little bit of different thing. It's like
Well,
it has a different tone,
what I was
I
gonna
think.
say is, I mean, Keijo is kind of a
It's a
good
similar
example too. I
idea.
think
Yeah, similar
because like,
example, but again, it's like
do you
it's
It's
like
a
has
think?
a
it's a different niche for sure.
Yeah, but
yeah,
do
it's a
you
different.
think in this regard, part of that comes from the fact that Bento is like an extreme thing about like something extremely,
Yeah, I think
like
I
it,
think there are
like
a couple.
that's why. Do you think like that's more of why the cheese works? Because it's like it's like
Yeah,
the premise itself is also like not obviously like super ridiculous because it's like nothing to do with it. Whereas like
yeah. I mean,
this is like an extreme like blood sport essentially, which while not more grounded is more of like no, it's not far enough because like it's
mm,
still it is still a like physical like sport. It's not
sports here.
something that's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah, it's not like some like common thing that's turned into something extreme.
yeah. I did want to kind of dig deeper. Like again, when I was talking with Nier and you guys before the podcast, I wanted to kind of think a little bit harder about it because I didn't want to sit there and kind of like wax wax eloquent about Bento while shitting on Tribe 9, and I didn't want to fool myself when potentially it could be nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
Especially I was like, the problem is I still don't care about baseball. I do care about half price lunches. That is also true. But so the couple of reasons I came up with, other than it potentially nostalgia, right? Is one is I agree with Dark, where it's the contrast between Bento's like a super small thing, and then the comedic or like the hyperbolic nature of to make it like an extreme like blood sport, right? To fight for these bentos, I think sets up the contrast very well. Much more of a contrast than obviously again baseball and like extreme baseball, where it's like that's a much more sort of like Prince of Tennis kind of like Kuroko no basket kind of thing, right? I think the second part is that they also Bento kind of, if you notice in the series, like what they're actually doing, like other than the fighting, they are all still like perfectly normal human beings in a perfectly normal world. They're just like fucking madmen fighting each other, right? In Bento, right? They don't have any superpowers. They don't do any like super crazy shit. They're just fighting each other, right? That's like if they actually like make kind of show where it's like outside. Sometimes like they have a perspective from the outside where they're just like duking each other. It's like a gang fight, like in Bento, right? They're just like punching each other in the face during this scene, and that's like again another contrast between this and Tribe Nine, where Tribe Nine like they're like robots and like bats with like rocket boosters on them and like crazy shit going on, and they have all these kind of like almost supernatural like weapons, like advanced technology and like almost superpower kind of stuff. So that's I think another contrast where it's like it create Bento has this like weird charm where it's like it's not extreme because you're adding technologies and superpowers onto it. It's extreme because it's portrayed that way. Like everybody's just suddenly going crazy over these, lunchboxes. And I think the last part of it, and perhaps this is the most important part, is that Bento is like a small idea, and then they created a crazy twist on it, and then they said, "How crazy can this fucking get? How crazy can we portray this?" Right? And that's sort of like the charm in it. Like we don't really think about it much, but then we were like, but then the anime made it super, super, super crazy, and like everybody was crazy about the subject, right? And and the drama and like the character development and stuff like that was almost secondary, right? I think you would agree with me, Nier. It's like there
Yeah.
was like bits of character development, and there was like this tiny little bit of like backroom drama or whatever it was, but it's like everything else, like you knew that that stuff was like even the character development was almost like second class compared to getting back to the fight scene and like just kind of like duking it out, right? So it's
Yeah.
like that was king. Doing the crazy fight stuff was king, right? And that's again very I think it's almost like an element of good observational comedy, right? Where if you notice how observational comics do their sketches, right? It's like there's like Seinfeld, like Dave Chappelle, like Kevin Hart, like anybody, right? Where it's like they take a very small thing and then they blow it up as hard as possible, right? They take some small thing that you might notice like every day, like it's very mundane, and then they blow it up. And I think that's what Bento did. And Tribe 9 is not that. They have a very like they're like, this is extreme, guys. This is really crazy. This is really cheesy. Look at this. It's extreme baseball. Things are exploding and motorcycle gangs and like Danganronpa art and fucking baseball punching each other and stuff. And it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. And it's like telling you that it's crazy. But it's obviously not only it's obviously very measured, but it's like it's the crazy like I don't need to be uh it doesn't need to be crazy in the sense that there's a lot of like flashing and like uh suits breaking and like punching going on. I just need to see from my perspective or from the character's perspective or from the plot's perspective that it is much more crazy than what regular humans would think about or deal with, right? That's like the sort of mental shift in perspective, the contrast between the bento and whatever the fuck this gang fight is going on right now. I think that's what I wanted from an extreme quote unquote series. And I don't think Tribe 9 really does it. Tribe 9 acts crazy. Tribe 9 is like, hey, look at all these things exploding. Look at all these motorcycle gangs, doing stuff. Look at all this, the beam bat and the baseball and the, the laser bases and whatever it is and the drama. Look at all this crazy stuff. But it's not really convincing me that there's this actual like surrealism. There's this contrast going on, and so it just doesn't grab me. And I hope it's not nostalgia. I think I think the reasons that I've pointed out are plenty enough to I think say that Tribe 9, in my opinion, is not really that good compared to, again, really cheesy series like Mento. But
How is it compared to other baseball anime though? Where does it rate
well,
on that hierarchy?
I don't even think this is really even like a baseball anime. It's just like
It's
it
got
like has
baseball.
the baseball like reference like words to it, but it's just like most
Speaking
of
of
the rest of it's like gobbledygook. Like, again,
speaking of
I
baseball, has there been any good baseball anime recently? Because all the baseball
Yeah,
anime
there
I
was the one
know,
with the there was one with the might have been a remake. I can't remember. I watched it and I can't for some reason. It's the one with the two brothers and like the sister as like their support.
I don't know. Because
yeah.
all
Can't
the
remember
baseball
if
ones
they're
I know
twins
are
or not.
super old.
There's a lot. There's been a lot of baseball series coming up recently. That's like the catcher pitcher, like the coming of age kind of series.
Yeah,
There's
that
been
I
a
mean
couple of
that
those. Yeah.
was that was that premise too. I don't remember the name of the series, but
I don't.
it's quite good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been like at least one or two. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not even like baseball stuff. It just makes references to baseball, and then like it just acts crazy a lot of the time. Honestly, like I had like this
Is Little
weird set.
Busters a baseball anime?
Yeah, honestly, it's like in terms of the visual novel, it's essentially a baseball game. I played that baseball mini game for like hours. But anyways, that's pretty much my review. I just don't think it's that great. I had some like kind of like K project vibes from it, but again, it's just not that good. It tried to be crazy, but it's like it told
Yeah,
me
but
that it was crazy.
K Project has like the pretty
Gay boys?
boys
Yeah.
and the
But this has the crazy
fights
bro,
and
are you saying you hate Danganronpa? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I would say the people that think that like Danganronpa's art is like, yes, this is the hottest shit. I think they might be a little off
I
Fucked up.
upstairs.
we're about to get a lot of we're a lot near is trying to tiptoe
You
the
know,
line so hard to not get hate mail.
I'm not saying Danganronpa art is bad. I like Danganronpa's art. I think it's a very cool style. But I think if
Mm.
you're looking at the characters in Danganronpa and you're like, I want to have sex with that. I don't know, man.
Who?
That's all I'm gonna say.
What? Who's the chick that's been voted hottest waifu in Danganronpa? It's not Junko, is it? No, it's the other. Who's?
It's
I
usually
don't know
Junko.
anything about
Yeah.
Danganronpa anymore.
Yeah.
Who's the
But
crazy
any
chick with the glasses again?
I have no idea.
Good. I
But
don't
yeah,
either.
that's pretty much all I had for Tribe 9. It's not very impressive, and I think the sort of extreme, the cheesiness stuff that it's trying to sell me, it's just not very effective. So that's pretty much all I had to say.
You
I
forgot to
would
say how progressive it was, though.
what?
Boys and
Uh,
girls on the same team. Wow. They would never
wow.
allow that in real
But
baseball.
in that sense, isekais are pretty progressive, right? Because you always have the
That has
boy
nothing
and
to
the
do with
hero.
modern day sporting rules. Why do you think there's a women's baseball league and a men's baseball league?
Oh, you're talking about in terms of like sporting
Yeah.
teams, right? Yeah. I guess it's progressive, sure. um, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend this. Again, it's another sort of smartphone game anime adaptation gone wrong, and it's just not that worth watching. So yeah, that was my review of Tribe 9. And with that,
What's your rating?
my rating
9
probably
out of
like
10. Gotcha.
9 out of 10. Yeah, I'd probably be my ratings have probably like been more harsh recently, but I'll probably if I said 5 is average, right? 5 out of 10 is average. I'll probably give it
No,
a
5 is failing. Six is
5 is failing.
No.
5 is
Yeah,
F.
mall
6
rules,
is
mall
D.
rules, mall
Yeah.
rules. 5 is unwatchable.
Yeah.
If 5/4 is unwatchable, I would say, and like 7 is average, or like 7 or 7.5 is average.
I hate
And
this
then
world.
yeah, I would say probably
7 is a C average.
6.5. 6.5 is what I would say. But yeah, it's
So-
it's like it's not like specifically like terrible, but it's not something that I would.
Wait a minute,
want to watch.
near. This hasn't been brought up at all. How's your grading scale in Canada? We do it by
It's like
ABC.
Canadian
to
grading,
F.
the
Yeah.
non-imperial grading scale. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Or
Is your
the-
grading scale different in Canada?
You mean like
is
school grading?
Yeah.
no, he
Uh,
means
So in I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that high school as
Same?
well, but most of it it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 system.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you get a 1, it's garbage, right? Like it's bad.
Mhm.
That
Uh,
like
a
that's like
2,
It's
college,
GPA. It's
essentially.
GPA.
Yeah, it's just like
GPA.
just
GPA.
sort of, yeah.
So
A
you just
2,
run GPA systems.
a 2 is like a pass. A 3 is like
Who is
good,
it?
and a 4 is like exceptional, right?
Okay.
About 5.
There's no 5.
Well, the
What?
point is they're essentially running it on a general like GPA system.
Yeah.
Based on some.
Oh, I'm talking about letter grades for like when you get a test back.
Well, I
Yes,
mean,
that's the grading system. It's a 1,
What?
2, 3,
well,
4
the
system.
letter grade is probably based
Like
around
obviously
the scoring system.
there's scores, like you got X out of whatever, but
So
like
what if
if you're like writing an essay or something, then you would be graded on the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
And
the 1, 2, 3, 4, and
like
it's probably
what about
DCBA or
percentage
something like
wise?
that.
We're talking percentages.
then you'd get a percentage grading.
And
What
so
do you mean?
let's say
If it's based on like a number, like a percentage that you got correct, then you would get a percentage grading. Like
over here it's what 100 to 90 is an A, 89 to 80 is a B.
Technically,
What's the equivalent over here?
my county
Over there.
My county actually had a rule for quite a while. Like the county where I lived over in Northern Virginia had a rule for quite a while where 94 was actually the cutoff for A and not 90. So
You mean
Right.
weighted? Ugh, get that out of here.
but
Yeah,
anyways,
near what's the equivalent over there? Is what I'm asking.
well,
I don't know what the percentages are.
I mean,
Like,
it's also completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
Like that is definitely not something that's like determined nationally
yeah.
for
Pretty
sure.
much.
Like
We should. I do want to move on, but either way, this is just my review for Tribe 9, and I do want to
Wait,
move on to.
yeah, you use metric, right?
yeah.
Okay, good. Just
yeah,
making
so like
sure.
a 40 is more like a 100, right? That's
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
temperature. It's like temperature scale. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Your 40 is like our like 212 ish, like
Yeah.
200 points
Yeah.
on the scale.
Near, you
But,
should switch to imperial system like us.
Nah, I'm good. I'd rather not.
But yeah, anyways, Dark, what do you have for us today?
I have something that Spire just desperately begged me to give to him, but I wouldn't allow it. I didn't allow it this time.
I secretly watched it anyways. So
Yeah,
screw
Spire
you.
Spire DM'd me, sent me pictures of him crying, sobbing.
Please, begging
Because
you.
I would not
I gotta
give
watch
him this.
all the Gay Boys.
Yeah. This is Sasaki to Miyano.
Sus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sasaki to Miyano, or Sasaki and Miyano, I guess.
Dark, let me ask real quick. What's the age gap between the two?
1 year.
Oh, okay, good.
Are they in like
Just
the same
making
high
sure.
school or whatever?
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, that's
I believe
basically
he is
grooming in high
I
school.
believe
It's
Miyano-
grooming in high school.
I believe
I don't
Miyano
think
is a
that's-
second year and Sasaki is a third. Yeah, because I think it's like, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Is it? Yeah, it's weird because what is it, like 3 episodes into the show or something, they kind of like they have a point where they're like, yeah, it's the end of our first year or whatever. And like Sasaki's in his second year, and then they're like, yeah, it's time for summer break. And then they go on summer break, except the show is like, haha, just kidding, summer break's over, bitch, back to school.
Damn.
We
The
get
school time is
nothing over summer
important.
break. Get
Yeah,
not a
summertime is
goddamn thing. Like,
school is important,
okay.
okay?
I mean,
Yeah.
Japanese high schoolers just like go into hibernation over the summer break,
Yeah.
right? Like they just prepare for the next school year. So
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we'll get like the summer break, like we'll get like some out of school like development and stuff like that. And it's like, no. Why would
The
you
funny
ever think that would
the funny thing is, it's like with Japanese anime, with like when the whole like summer break arc or like period comes up, it's always like one of three things. One, they either time skip it, like what Dark said. Two, they always skip to like just before school starts, and they're like, "I have a mountain of homework and it's all late. Oh, I got to do all the homework. Oh my god. Oh my god." And then the third one is what Session said, gotta work for the beach episode. It's like they go to the
yeah,
beach or they go to Comiket summer or something like that. They have this like one like outing, and then after like all
and
the
now
event
it's
is
time
over
for
with the
school
friends.
again.
No, well, just before that, it's like after the event is over at night, like they watch the fireworks and they're like, "Oh man, that was a good time," and then it's time skips. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the
I
extent of the
want
summer break.
I want to find someone bold enough to make a slice of life series as fucking slow as My Hero Academia. That's what I want. I really want to experience that.
Like pour enough money just to get like a 360 episode like slice
Yeah,
of
it's
life
gonna be like
series.
a 700 episode slice of life
Yeah,
series. It's gonna be
I
almost.
would fucking
I
pay for
want
that,
an
honestly.
episode. I want 20 minutes of every fucking day while they're in high school
Yeah.
for
It's
3
like you think
years.
you think this is filler? This is the fucking core series. You better sit down
Yeah,
and watch. You better sit down and watch
you better
this.
buckle up, buddy, because you're in math
Yeah.
class today.
Oh Jesus. Anyways, so can I so Sasaki to Miyano is actually done by Studio Dean. So is this animated all right? It's like, are you
It
okay
sure
watching this?
is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of in shock that that's the case. All was down
although
for a
Dean,
while, so I
although Dean,
didn't look it up
yeah,
till
although I would
just now.
say, I would say though, and this is
Dean's
like,
been improving.
yeah, Dean not only has Dean been improving, and honestly, like some people might have noticed this, but I'm honestly one of the people who are not as much on the Dean hate bandwagon as was some of the other people historically. Like, Kenton was an infamous like Dean
Who's
hater.
that
I
guy?
mean,
Yeah,
historically, it's been pretty deserved. Have you
yeah. I mean, the
have you
earlier stuff.
seen have you
Yeah,
seen Fate Stay Night, bro? I mean, come on.
Well,
the earlier stuff was memes. The earlier stuff was
to be
memes for sure.
fair, like that was what 2004. They didn't have much to work
It
on.
was
Yeah,
it was it
okay.
was
I'll
still
hit
it
you
was
with,
still
have you
pretty bad,
It
bro.
seen
was pretty bad, yeah.
Sushi Orphan? Seen second
And,
season of that?
and even I think but the thing is that what I would like to say is that at least in the 2010s and like leading up into the 2020s and stuff like that, I think Dean became more inconsistent rather than complete memes. Like there were like bad things and then there were good things and then they
Yeah.
kind of like switched back and forth, and it became kind of like that. And then even with stuff like Log Horizon, you can kind of see the spottiness back and forth. But it's like um they went from being complete memes to becoming inconsistent, which is what a lot of studios also tend to go through, except for like the biggest ones like A1 or like JC. But even they have their bad days, right? Um,
Every, everyone
but
knows that Dean peaked at Melancholy Nights at
yeah,
2000. Oh no, when was? Oh,
but
damn, I'm
I
actually
would
kind of
say
right because what Kenshin was 1999, right? Yeah, no, 1997.
but I would say Dean has at least like been making sure that they kind of minimize the number of car crashes that they had is what I will
Oh,
say.
they did they did Korewa Zombie. That's 2011.
Oh, right, they did do Kure wa Zombie desu ka.
That
Damn
one,
it.
I
I
mean,
guess
All
they
right.
Dean's
did that.
Repertoire?
Dean's like older catalog is
Yeah,
very, very impressive. if you go
Yeah,
back and look at like old Dean,
Yeah,
like
I don't know what
pre
happened.
2000. Yeah,
yeah,
Was it because like A1 like really just like took over? I think
I
maybe like a
mean
lot of stuff was
maybe.
like the emergence of like A1 and like smaller studios like Light and like Lurche, like Silver Fox, stuff like that, maybe. And Studio
I mean, you have to keep in mind
Silverlink.
Dean,
Mhm.
like old Dean had a lot of talent because
That is also true,
they
yeah.
were behind Urusei Yatsura, right?
and
And
Maseneko. Yeah,
and
Ranma One
after
Half.
that they did
Yeah,
Ranma, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
So they had like for a while, like pretty much like the anime industry was at
Mhm.
Dean. Um,
Right. And
so
then like brain drain. It was like a brain
yeah,
drain plus like more
I think
competition.
slowly
Yeah.
like people started leaving and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that is true.
but yeah, they've been on the up and up lately.
but
Yeah.
yeah, name the most. Name the most. What's the best looking Dean series that you know?
Best looking Dean
Um,
series?
the best looking, I mean, I'm probably a little biased, but
You'd say what?
I'd say Rakugo.
Near. That's wrong.
Okay, well,
The
you
best
asked.
Dean, the best Dean series ever made is Konosuba.
Super
That's
Damn
lovers.
that's definitely a lie. That's I
it.
mean,
No, you have to say
Konosuba
you're contractually obligated on this podcast to say Konosuba. We need the
Konosuba
money,
was
okay?
like the return of Dean quality, bro. Like,
Konosuba looked like shit, but the Dean quality only enhanced the
yeah,
comedy. It's like,
If you don't
damn.
if you don't say that Konosuba is good, we don't get the money here. I don't think you understand the ramifications of the contract.
yeah.
But anyways, sorry. We went on a Dean tangent as we usually do, but it was Dean, and then I believe was this here the original creator, right? The original creator was yeah, the ones within. What is this? Okay, yeah, this is his like only work, right? Yeah, ones within and Sasaki and Miyano. And director, of course, is Shiara Shinji, who has done a couple of other stuff. He did some work on a lot of like bigger series like Fairy Tail, Log Horizon. He's been working relatively closely with Dean. Super Lovers.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like Fairy Tale Log Horizon. Then he cracks his fingers and time to get gay, and then does
yeah, exactly.
Super Lovers. Now we
Yeah.
got Sasaki to Miyano.
Hey man, follow the trends, bro.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that director is like honestly fucking. It's like like some of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, some of Soul Eater, for like storyboarding and shit.
yeah. So let me
Yeah,
read the
so
plot summary real quick here. Miyano spends his days peacefully reading boys' love comics and worrying about how girly his face is, until a chance encounter leads to a scuffle with his senior Sasaki. Intrigued by his feisty junior Miyano, Sasaki, the
time
delinquent,
out,
uses every yeah,
time out. This is already wrong. Already
yeah, yeah,
literally completely wrong.
yeah.
So
Wait, let me
basically,
see.
it's Miyano, very concerned about his like feminine face.
Yes.
Enjoys reading BL. Meets
Mm-hmm.
Sasaki because one of his friends is getting beat up one day, and he tries to
Mm-hmm.
call for one other senpai that he knows,
Mm-hmm.
and Sasaki winds up just happening on it and uh, essentially like fighting the guys away. Uh, and that's kind of where they meet. Sasaki has like no knowledge of him, like kind of just has a more almost like love at first sight thing where it's very much I forget the series that we it's about. I want to say it was it
Is this
After the
Yaoi?
Rain?
It's is this? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay,
Where
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah.
sees him and then like just flowers like bloom around him and shit. Um
Okay.
or there's like the little like flower like graphics and sparkles and shit.
Yes, yes.
That is kind of like their first meeting. I thought that I thought that the summary was pretty fucking inaccurate. Like it just sounds awkward and like as if they're fighting. It's like, oh.
Mhm.
So anyway, he winds up wanting to get to know more about Miyano, so Miyano semi-reluctantly lends him like BL manga that he's reading.
Okay.
Um,
Just
and
as you
then
do, right?
Hey
yeah,
man,
so
check this out.
Sasaki has no real like knowledge of like manga.
Hmm.
So he winds up like getting into it, not realizing, not knowing what like a BL or a Fundanshi or Fujoshi like is.
Hmm.
And so he kind of goes in there and likes the story for what it is in the beginning. And again, spoiler alert, we know as the viewer, like he's gay. They don't
How do we
outright,
know though?
because he literally like has like
What if he's
interior monologue of liking Miyano like from the beginning.
what if
Uh,
he's bi though?
well,
Has
I
he
mean,
shown
yeah,
any
like
interest in girls?
that could be a potential too. We'll get to
How
that later with
what are
Miyano.
their ages again?
Wait, both of them
I
are
don't know,
gay,
second
right?
year last year of high school.
Yeah,
17.
they're only 3 years in high school, I believe.
So 17 and
Yeah, because it's
16?
like after middle school. Yeah, it's probably like no, either 16, 17, or 17, 18, right? Because
I
it's
Wait,
don't
like
what?
even know.
do
Yeah,
their
it's like
high schools end at 18 sometimes? I think it
I
depends
think
on when you were
so.
Yeah,
born,
I'm
realistically.
third
really
year is
bad
18,
with
is that?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Yeah, so probably
but
like somewhere around there. Depends on, I think it all depends on when your birthday falls too, since their
mhm.
years are actual year, not like this is with the. Isn't that the case? Isn't it like they start in January?
Yeah, they start in the wintertime.
So
Or rather, I think it's spring. Sorry, it's spring, right?
oh, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's like their
Yeah.
year is actually like within the calendar year.
Hmm.
Like they don't have like a school year that like starts in September and then ends in the following like
Hmm.
um so where was I? Yeah, so basically like that's kind of how their relationship kicks off with BL.
Wait, so they're both like they start out both gay, right? Because
No.
Miyano likes reading the boys' love stuff.
Yeah,
No,
there's a difference. There's a difference, buddy. Buddy boy.
okay.
You should know this yourself unless you're admitting something about yourself. Um but yeah, so that's kind of how the series starts with that and him sort of explaining to Sasaki, just because I'm a Fundanshi, like, doesn't mean that, like, I'm actually into that.
Oh, that's part of the okay. All right, that's part
Yeah,
of the
and
interaction. Yeah.
it's more of like, like, here's why I like these stories, here's why I like these character relationships in the story.
Hmm.
I just like it
Um,
for the world building, dude.
yeah, it's like, I like it because it's like, it's like the dynamic. I think at one point, like, Sasaki does go,
I
like,
just like the characters, dude.
the dynamic
Not gay,
between,
dude.
like, the two detectives was really interesting, and I didn't think it was going to go that way by the end. Or sorry,
I
I guess he
didn't
was
think
reading
that
like a
they were gonna
boys' love,
fuck
a
right
BL about like
there.
gay detectives by the end of it. Um, but there's a lot of like BL trivia, um, with like
What do you mean by
words,
BL trivia?
like
Fun
character
fact,
archetypes
dude's
and
fucked.
stuff.
Yeah, but
Like
is
certain
it
like
like
certain like character archetypes. Like I think one
yeah,
like the uke stuff like that.
right?
And sort of going through like Sasaki like learning more about like that sort of like niche.
Uh-huh.
Um, and during all of this, you have side characters like the friends who know that he's into reading like BL as a Fundanshi. Um, and you have like Sasaki's friends who don't know that and like are like, and when they find out, like one of them is apprehensible about like like apprehensive towards it,
Mhm.
something he's like he like hates it, and then you find out like spoiler alert, he hates it because his girlfriend's a Fujoshi. He's like, I never fucking hear like I never stop hearing about this shit. Um, and so there's like some stuff like that where the friends kind of it's like light teasing about it, but it's not really like malicious, you know? It's
Right.
more
Right.
of it's more of like using that as like a stepping point of BL trivia in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
Um, and then there's like the way Miyano carries himself and like how he, like avoids taking like any of it out in class or in school, like carries it in in like a, what would you call that, like opaque plastic bag, and hands it to Sasaki when he borrows like manga from him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and so there's that. There's the in the beginning like much more lighter BL like stuff in the series itself. Um, I think one of the interesting ways that it handled itself was the fact that they actually go through that when I think it's when Miyano is explaining how like just because he's a fundanshi like doesn't mean that gay. Um, is that I think like Sasaki brings it up and he's like, well, like we do go to an all boys school, you know?
Oh,
Um,
they're all
eh,
right. They're in all boys school, right?
yeah, and
Okay.
so it's like, and so the way like they kind of use that conversation to be like, yeah, like it's not uncommon for like there to be gay relationships in this school. I want to say the Sasaki's friend is in a gay relationship with like one of the basketball players in their school. I
Okay.
think. I'm not. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and rewatch. I'm pretty sure because like
So
in at first there
can I
wasn't
ask,
like
like, what is the balance between like because there again, I'm just trying to see like, okay, so the balls being juggled right now are them talking about the BL trivia, right? That's one thing, and then them doing the relation, right? Their like character development and interpersonal relation with each other, right? Like how gay are we or whatever it is, right? This thing. And then there's sort of the comedic shtick behind the slice of life thing, right? So that's like the three major balls that the series is trying to juggle, right? In terms of screen time. Um, are they focused pretty hard on pushing the character development part as much as possible in terms of screen time, or how is this
so
balanced?
How
in
much hand holding
in
is
the
in this series?
first none yet. In the first episode, like the first few episodes, there's it's pretty heavy on like more of the BL trivia and the comedy.
Okay.
It has like the some like very small, like it has small parts of like Sasaki getting to know me and stuff like that, but it is still more comedic with that. As the series went on, like after a few episodes, it kind of goes more into Sasaki developing like feeling, you know,
Mm. And
and
doing
sort of
like
like that relationship.
introspection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
Okay.
introspection, more of like character interactions between the two. That after, and that's after a few episodes. So
Right. Right.
I feel like now there has been like it's kind of like flipped where there's been like some mention of like the manga and the BL stuff, BL anime and everything in the series, but that's now taken more of a backseat to the relationships.
Right. And I would say this is a relatively standard development for something like this, right? Um, well, I don't know whether it's a relatively standard transition, but I would have almost expected this sort of the focus on the development or the development in the relationship to happen earlier rather than later, right? So that's sort
Yeah.
of what I expected at least from the
So
series.
now by the most recent episode, it's kind of gotten to the point where Miyano's like kind of second guessing himself as because
Okay.
spoiler alert, Sasaki is like fully confessed, but he's
Okay.
basically made it clear like I'm
Like
willing,
this
like
makes
I
you
don't need an
right.
answer right now.
Mhm.
Um, so what I think the most recent episode has ended off with was Miyano just explaining like he's only ever fallen in love with a girl. Like he's only ever liked a girl, and
Right.
he's not sure what he actually feels. because his thing is like he's never really known someone who's sort of like liked what he likes, talked to him about like all manga or like really any like manga he'd read or recommended. He like his whole like the thing that's going on now is like not sure if that's just something he's never had before. He's actually like in love with him.
Right.
So we'll see where that goes. I think a decent enough descriptor that I saw actually someone on Mall wrote was, in some aspects, think especially with how like laid back a lot of it is, think Horimiya but gay.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound a lot like what you described. It's like a lot of
Especially
well,
the interactions with the side
yeah.
characters.
Except Horimiya had a like slightly more focus on like after story vibes, right? And
Yeah.
this is a little bit before, right? It's like it's
Yeah,
still like
this is the lead up.
Will they, won't they? Yeah, this is the will they, won't they stage still.
Yeah.
But in
So
terms of like, yeah,
as far as like the what would you call like the atmosphere or like the feeling of the show, you kind of get that sort of more laid back, like relaxed vibe. The drama's not the end of the world. It's way more like in that sense. It's really believable that, especially like a lot of the introspection is like pretty.
Right.
So I think overall that's been pretty good. And yeah, I think that's really all to say about so far, like the plot and everything. I kind of would like to see more, like if possible. I mean, we've had this discussion a million times, like the after story, which would be nice.
Yeah, I think the important thing is like so I'm not criticizing this in any sense. I'm not criticizing Sasaki to Miyano, but it's like the whole like will they, won't they for like, especially in this sense where it's like they're not immediately like gay for each other, right? And it's like it has a whole like standard like, oh, do I really want to go out with a boy? Like this is a new experience for me, That's kind of it's been a path that's been trodden before, right? And the way that Sasaki to Miyano adds value to that equation is of the tone it sets, right? Of the balance it has with the BL trivia and like the characters it shows, right? And so it boosts that value. But certainly, if it had a more like after story kind of focus afterwards, right? It would be really nice too, right? Because that's obviously a little bit more of more on common ground that could provide stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's always decently like tread. So
right.
It would be cool to see that. Hey, we're only halfway through.
Yeah.
We got a lot of time.
The next episode
We
could
got
be
time.
full on
Hey,
smut. Yeah.
this guy, it's Super Lovers too. Who's to say? Get another season of this anyway.
I was reading the wiki description for that series while you were talking about Sasuke to Miyano. I was reading
Super Lovers. I'm
Lovers,
pretty
and I
sure
was like,
Super
"What
Lovers
the
is like
fuck?"
gay smut. Like it's
I was like,
way
"What is going on with this?"
way fucking crazier.
Yeah. Anyways, any last words on Sasuke to Miyano?
Well, dude, audio visuals.
Oh, sorry. I thought you did audio.
Like I said, I was shocked when you said it was from Studio Dean. Because, spoiler alert, I haven't been really paying any attention to like the credits of anything whenever I watch it. I just go to Mall. And Mall was down, so I didn't see that. Audio visuals are really good for what it needs to be. Like I mean, like there's no crazy action going on. But it's very solid. Not something I would have expected. That Dean was behind it. Like I mentioned earlier, it does have that like I don't know if that's typical of BL stuff as well, like the like how we were saying with like After the Rain, where it's someone talks or like something happens and then like it's all sparkly around them and there's like
It's
some sort of flower
it's
effect.
it's like so common in BL that it has become a meme. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause what?
like the BL like sparkles is like the typical way to like parody uh
And then and
like
then and then and then the sparkles and the
sparkles and
flower
the
bush, and
roses.
then
Yeah.
the classic phrase is this love that I feel?
Yeah.
It's like, is this perhaps love
I
that I feel? What is this beating in my heart? It's like that's like the
yeah.
standard like meme phrase, yeah. So you'll see that. But
Okay. Well, there you go. So yeah, audiovisual's good. OST has been good.
Mhm.
Not really a ton to say about it. Like it's not like it's like super stand out, but I mean like it
Well,
fits the
the good thing
mood.
is
Like
the proper thing is that Dean did a proper job and didn't fucking shit the bed.
yeah, I mean
It
it's like
makes
they
it,
didn't fuck it up.
yeah.
Everything like kind of fits. You don't taken out of it by any sort of soundtrack or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just very solid series.
Mhm.
Z watch. Yeah.
All this talk reminds me of that one Astolfo's cosplayer. Do you think he's doing well? I hope he's doing well.
Which aren't there
I
like a
think
million Astolfo
yeah, but
cosplayers?
you know the one he's
You,
talking
you know the
about.
one.
You know,
You know the
You
one.
know
The was it
exactly. And
I'm
like
pretty
a
listen,
sure
Thai?
I'm
Was it
pretty
like a
sure
Thai
he's doing
cosplayer?
real well.
I think
all right.
he was either Thai or like
Yeah,
mainland. But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he opened up an OnlyFans, so
Good for him.
I'm
Really?
sure he's
Yeah.
doing fine. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure he's doing
How's-
A-okay.
yeah. Anyways, if that was pretty much all we have for Sasaki and Miyano, I definitely following Dark's recommendation for it, like if you want to check this out, obviously it's got like a good balance of stuff. Dean actually did a pretty decent job on it. They've been on the up and up, as Nier said before. So please do check it out if you are interested.
Oh, there's also a bit of trivia which I mean would have been insane to get meta with of Miyano listening to like a drama CD, like a
Oh
BL like
God.
CD, which
Uh-huh.
would have been insane to get meta with and like
Yeah.
start talking about like VA starting with like
Oh yeah,
BLCs
That would
would
be pretty
have
good.
been wild.
That would have been pretty good. And then they like the voice actors like that are voicing Sasuke and Miyano, they start like talking about like the BLCD stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, like
that'd
that
be
would have
pretty
been
good.
crazy.
That'd have been great. Anyways, thank you very much, Dark. Again, if you do want to check this out, it is Sasuke to Miyano. And with that, we are finally going to move on quickly to the news. Don't have too much in the way of news today, just mainly like awards and stuff like that. So I'll go through the numbers real quick. First off, so manga stuff, manga volumes are pretty much taking over the New York Times February bestseller list for graphic novels and stuff like that. So most of it's well, I'll just go through it. Um, so it's Demon Slayer, it's Chainsaw Man, it's Jujutsu Kaisen, and one volume of, I believe, Dragon Ball Super. But most of it's Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer. They are ramping
Yep.
up the list, the prize, and also New York Times like bestseller stuff has been flooded with manga for quite some time. It's actually somewhat interesting, but it's also probably because manga are more and more one of the main like physical goods that people are
It's kind
consistently
of
buying.
insane how when you let people buy things
They become
easily,
bestsellers.
No, we
they
need to make
sell a
sure.
lot.
Oh, we
No,
need to
near
sue the
we
internet instead.
yeah, we need to keep everything in Japan. Fuck the guidance, and when the guidance say we want, because you're not letting us pay money, we're gonna pirate it. We need to stamp them down. That's how business works, right?
Yeah.
So
You know, crazy thought. If you start publishing stuff that's not in Shonen Jump, it will also sell a lot.
Are you saying that we have to make manga, like digital manga, for stuff other than Dragon Ball? What are you talking about?
Shonen Jump?
What?
Yeah.
Anyways,
What else is there?
yeah, that's true. The Spy Family. I want to say Dragon Ball, Naruto. That's pretty much all I know. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it. Oh wait, I'm
uh,
sorry. Black Clover. That's
yeah, that's
there.
true. um. Anyways, next. This is somewhat bad news. Tesca Productions, No Border Z, and J&J announced in partnership with Tottori Prefecture's local government. Oh, God, governments are getting into it too.
Of
On
course.
Thursday, that Tesca Osamu's Astro Boy franchise is getting non-fungible token or NFT cards for the metaverse-based
Oh
NFT
boy.
dual trading card game. The companies did not announce a release date or prices. They didn't announce prices either. I bet it's going to be like $100,000 per card.
Does anyone who's buying an NFT even know what Astro Boy is anymore?
Oh, that's true. Oh my God,
I don't
you're
I
think
mean,
they
so
what's
right.
even
care.
the Japanese market of NFTs
They
at
like
this point?
NFTs for some reason.
It's
Japan
like it's
loves NFTs.
the thing is, it's
Incredible.
like you know how most of the NFT sellers are like on Twitter, kind of like hyping it up. It's like that, but on steroids. So it's like the Japanese like mainstream social media are like super hyped up about NFTs. Although obviously a lot of people do hate it as well over there. But it's like so the social media ecosystem for Japan is definitely filled a lot with NFT stuff. Um, but yeah, those cards will be tradable on the Zenalia marketplace. I don't know what the fuck that means, but yeah, your favorite Astro Boy stuff is going to be NFTs now. Yay! Next, next on the list, the Tokyo Anime Film Festival, or TAF, isn't it TAFF? It's Tokyo Anime Film Festival, so it's
Yeah, it should be TAF.
okay. All right. Anyways, announced the winners of its Animation of the Year awards for works and individuals on Thursday. Jujutsu Kaisen won the television category for works. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen has been secretly sweeping everything. Like,
Of
Demon
course.
Slayer has been like getting the names, right? Because it's like been breaking world records, right? But Jujutsu Kaisen has been taking over a lot of awards recently. The television category for works, and Evangelion, the new one, First Upon a Time, won the animated film category.
What's
So
that?
winner original work screenplay category award goes to Hideaki Anno for his work on Evangelion. Director category Hideaki Anno. Animated category Matsushima Akira, who did Demon Slayer, who was also last year's winner in the same category. Background slash coloring slash visual category goes to Terao Yuichi for Demon Slayer. Performance slash sound category goes to Kaji Yuriyuki for Demon Slayer, and Shinago for
Wow, no way.
Demon Slayer as well. Idolish 730 won the festival's anime fan film. Oh, sorry, anime festival's anime fan awards. Sorry, I am my mouth is getting uh stuff here, but yeah. So Idolish 7 was fan vote, and everything else goes to Evangelion and Demon Slayer. Surprise.
Yeah, Anno's a hack, by the way. Evangelion was a fluke. You know.
Sucks, bro. G-Kids and streaming service Tubi announced on Friday that they are entering a content partnership deal. Tubi will begin streaming animated films for G-Kids later this month, and will stream additional titles later this year. So G-Kids has licensed recently stuff like Mirai, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Future Bird, Conan, Bell, The Deer King, stuff like that. So also handles North American distribution and localization to an extent.
G-Kids basically has been licensing pretty much every like cool anime movie that's released in the last like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. They're like it's like how Tyson Foods is like secretly supplying everything in like North America.
Yeah.
It's like that, but like with North American distribution with anime. That's what G Kids is. Um,
Then where's Heaven's
final,
Feel?
That's in the fucking
final.
death grips of Aniplex, dude.
Yeah. Nobody who has Heaven's Feel is gonna be like, yeah, I think we'll just sell off the license to somebody. No, they're
No.
never doing that until the entire studio gets eaten alive by like zombies. Like nobody's selling that licensing, right?
I'm
Um,
still waiting for it to appear on
uh,
for digital distribution, but no.
They're gonna milk those Blu-ray sales some more.
Did you get the limited edition? It's only
Fuck no, dude.
$80 per movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, last piece of news. Some of the organizers of the 16th annual Seiyu Awards, or the Voice Actor/Actress Awards, announced the winners of the Merit Award, Synergy Award, and the Kids/Family Award on Tuesday. So Merit Award, which is award for the voice actor or actresses Seiyu who have contributed to many genres, including foreign works over the years, goes to Asaka Miyoko, also known as Ichiryusai Harumi, who had roles in Space Battleship Yamato, Galaxy Express 999, and City Hunter. Also goes to Ikemizui Michihiro, who did stuff under Pat Labor, Shinkyoji no Hoshi, and Kinnikuman. Synergy Award for works that best show the talent of voice actors. Evangelion, surprise. And
Bit slow on that one, but sure, yeah. All right.
honestly, like, I feel like this initial half of the year, like leading up to I want to say June or July, like everybody's just gonna be giving awards to Evangelion, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer, just because like even like smaller awards will just be like, okay, well if we give an award to Evangelion, we'll like appear in the news or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like I think they're just gonna start doing that. They're like, okay, who do we give like best dog of the year award to? We'll just give it to like Evangelion. I don't know. Like, I think this is how it's gonna go. So Kids/Family Award, which is the award selected by children, goes to Tsukui Kyosei. And yeah, the rest of the awards, which will reveal the full list of awardees, will be held on March 5th. So yeah, that was the last piece of news there. And with that, we are moving on finally to our last segment, our shoutouts and call outs. And our shoutouts and call outs, every person here gets one shout out, one call out each. Shout out is something that you want to praise. 5 out of 5, thumbs up. Cheer on, whatever, with your best and brightest smile. And that'll be any one person, place, or thing that you want to talk brightly about. And call out is exactly the opposite thing, something that you hate, detest. 0 out of 0, or why did I say 0 out of 6? 0 out of 10, excuse me. 0 out of 10. Negative 10 out of 10. Hate it with all of your guts, and that is exactly one person, place, or thing. And we will start off with Nier. What do you have for us?
My shoutouts and callouts are.
I okay, Toast.
No, I don't want. Fine, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout out. I don't know. I'll shout out movie recap.
Okay.
Damn, you're going down that rabbit hole too.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
it's
Yeah,
fucked up.
instead of watching movies.
Listen, dude,
Well,
sometimes there are some really shitty movies that you were like,
yeah.
well, I don't want to fucking watch this thing. I want to know about it.
Why?
It's
Why?
really,
Why?
it's really
Why
well
watch a
put
2 hour?
together.
Yeah, well,
Is.
maybe with that attitude, you should stop trying to get fucking Sin to force me to watch Space Jam 2.
All right, but that's different. All right, there's
That's
value
not.
there.
That is not different.
Yeah, if you don't know, movie recap takes movies and of varying genres and summarizes them in less than 15 minutes. So it's
Yeah, something
pretty
like that.
convenient.
A movie recapped here. It has a really it's got a great text-to-speech voice.
Yeah, I like the text-to-speech guy the best. And then there's the guys who talk with their voice, and I'm like, get out of here.
I will say, Toast, if you're interested in that, you should also look up a channel called what is it? Roanoke Gaming. He
I
is
know what that
an
is.
ex. Oh, you know that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. His recaps are cool. And game and movie diseases and would
Yeah,
hypothetically.
that sounds familiar. Yeah, that sounds familiar. All right, I'll check out. But yeah, shout out to those channels, the ones that have TTS, not the ones that are speaking. I don't like it when some regular guy speaks to me, like an
You want
ASMR
the
voice.
full TTS action?
Yeah, just give
Dude,
me.
it's so good. Like
It's so much better that way because there's the other guy, like what Mystery Recapped. I don't
yeah,
like it when
mystery
he
recap.
I don't like that guy. I don't like him interjecting his not funny jokes into his recaps. Just give me the straight
Yeah.
recap.
I can empathize with that. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out those channels for saving me like 75% of the time I would spend actually watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you call out.
call out. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna call out Neeson. Yeah, I'm gonna call out Neeson. Let me pull up
Okay.
the article.
Oh,
Oh, because of the streaming platform stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
If you didn't know, what is it? Nissan Power Station and whatnot. They're hosting the servers for Aqua's Seaside Aquafest for her live concert.
Mhm.
But they're deciding that all people who are trying to watch overseas have to use a VPN in order to watch it because their servers can't hold all of the suddenly can't hold all of the people that want to watch the concert. So if you don't live in Japan, you got to
The
get a VPN
classic,
just to
yeah, the
watch it.
classic Japanese. They create some random fucking, video streaming platform, thinking that'll be the next big thing, and then they just, have all these fucking restrictions all the time.
And the
Classic.
kicker is that the refund period was 24th of December of last year. So
Which I
they
still think
didn't.
is prime lawsuit material.
Yeah,
They're
pretty much.
it's like and
Yeah.
but it's not a lawsuit because they sent refund emails to people who are interested in November, but guess what? They're only for the Japanese audience.
Oh
If you're
yeah, I mean, also
overseas,
again,
they
it's
didn't
Yeah,
tell you until now.
never available like to purchase it like sees that.
well,
Then
somebody will
like by
probably
the
bring
way,
up
no
until
refund.
September. Yeah, but
But yeah, but like the silver lining, I guess, is that now you now you can watch it, but only the archive. So they removed the VPN block now that the
Oh,
concert's over. So it's like, it's like, oh, you didn't get to watch it live? It's okay. You still have the archives. But the whole point is to watch it live.
yeah, I mean, why
Oh,
pay that? Like, why,
yeah.
I have paid money then?
yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
So yeah,
So very
I hope they
unfortunate.
don't do business with them anymore, or at least communicate this properly, because that's not good.
Honestly, yeah. I mean,
It's a major
honestly, like one
turnoff.
of these shitty fucking streaming platforms, they're gonna pop up every other like year or month or whenever they pop up. So it's very unfortunate again
Here's
that
hoping
it
Kizuna
happened.
Ai's farewell concert isn't going to be like this.
But you know that Kizuno Eye is already doing the NFT thing as well. So it's like, oh my god.
I don't want
But
to. Whatever.
anyways,
We
thank you
try
to
not to
Toast.
think about that, Spire.
Yeah, I try. Yeah. You
We're
realize.
trying to pretend she's going gracefully here, okay?
Can I just say, I mean, the right now the Kizuna meme, like China into NFT into whatever stuff, is like it was very unfortunate, and
What do you
it's
mean
like memes.
China? What does China have to do with her now? Is this recent?
No, as in like the money related to her, as well as the voice actors and stuff like that. But the
You know, there's some
what
people who still think that they replaced Kizuna Ai's voice actor even now. It's like, do
but
your damn research.
They originally?
what
No, they never did. They just added more voice actors.
yeah, they added more voice actors.
Oh, I thought
Uh,
they
they had like two or three or something like that. Yeah.
They just use the
Oh.
same model, but it's like here's what Love
No,
Chan
yeah,
and
I know they
Chen.
did that. I just
Then
thought
there's a
that
Chinese one. It's like, oh,
yeah.
And then they kind of, the thing is, because they like switched her to like other project roles, or she was doing something else. The original Kizuna had like less and less screen time, but that's not the point I wanted to make. That's the distraction. But the point I wanted to make was that we laugh about the whole like NFT Kizuna stuff, But what we don't realize is the big elephant in the room is just because, I mean, we've seen how greedy these companies are, right? I mean, these companies are essentially, at the end of the day, companies. They want to make money by squeezing the fucking wallets of otakus and like fucking whatever, like people who sub cam girls everywhere, right? And whether it's Niji Sanji or whether it's Honey Strap or Animare or Masquerade or Whole Live or wherever, they're all going to be selling NFTs soon as well, based on this thing. And it's going to have to come to a crossroads. So I'm not going to be happy when that crossroads does come, but I do believe that it's going to come much sooner rather than later. So,
What side are
anyways.
you on, Spire? You gonna get
Uh,
you gonna get the Niji
I am
Sanji
on the
NFTs?
side of
I mean, Spire has
putting
like
on
12 apes already, so
yeah, I already have 12 apes and they're all gay for each other. I think that's how that works.
yeah.
um, but anyways, thank you Toast for your shout and call. I guess I'll go next real quick. My call out right now is to these freaking trailers of like the really shitty like we made the 50th Marvel movie or we made the 50th I right now it's like on my feed I have like Lightyear, which is like this spin-off of the Toy Story thing, right? Or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And
Trailer's
then
weird.
I also have like the Doctor Strange movie. What was it?
The new one?
of madness.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it
the
yet.
multiverse of
Don't spoil it.
madness. But the thing is, it's just like I'm really like I'm just so tired. I want to stop seeing these movies that are just literally like so blatantly like, yeah, we're just going to beat this dead horse until it becomes glue. Like we're gonna
Okay, go
beat this
direct
dead horse.
another Godfather movie.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just hate this shit so much. But
Why
Yeah.
he hates
Spire
Marvel
hates
movies?
Spire hates good film.
yeah, good
Spire hates
cinema, real cinema.
entertainment. Yeah,
Spire,
real cinema.
Yeah.
what's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time. The issue is, like I have a
Spire's gonna
very
hit you with
It's
like
either
Citizen Kane, dude. You know that. Come on. Now.
yeah. Citizen Kane. I
What's
gotta
the
go for
what's
the
the
Rose of the Red
Korean
Dead.
Citizen Kane? Is it Train to Busan?
You know the answer is always gonna be either Train to Busan,
Or
Parasite,
Parasite, yeah.
or Old Boy,
Or yeah,
right?
Old Boy. I forgot
Yeah,
about Old Boy.
exactly. Yeah,
Those are like
exactly.
the three Korean films like
Yeah,
that have been
like
made.
there are no other movies that have ever existed in
Yeah.
Korea. But the thing, I mean, I'm just really sick and tired of those sorts of movies. But
I
yeah.
just asked for a movie title, Spire. I didn't ask for an
Oh yeah, you did
explanation.
ask for a movie title. Yeah, sorry. So I have a little bit of bias because I really like I am a very huge sucker for like dramatical historical films, like Patton or like Gandhi and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like even if they're like
But
not
don't
that
say Slumdog
historical.
Millionaire.
No,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Spire.
No,
Come
I don't
on.
think that's gonna. Um, I don't know. Maybe I would probably say I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff, like the historical kind of stuff. So I would ultimately say like Schindler's List, right? It's
Oh
just
my.
Wow.
what?
All right.
It's
Okay,
not
All
like
right,
Yeah,
man.
like
yeah,
okay,
go huff your
man.
own farts, dude.
yeah.
Whatever, man.
I apologize. Yeah, I
Oh,
apologize for
oh,
being
look at
so
me. I
highfalutin.
love
Yeah,
Schindler's List. Ooh.
yeah. It's like go fucking watch some Marvel movies. You fucking
Yeah,
It's like.
next thing you're gonna tell me is you like the Titanic.
Yeah, bitch, let me tell you something. The only boy in striped pajamas I want to see is Spider-Man, okay?
Yeah, exactly. And like Home Alone or something. Yeah. But
What's
yeah.
your
Anyway,
second favorite movie then?
my second favorite movie. I don't really watch that. I don't really have like a lot of movies that I'm like,
Space Jam.
yeah.
Hell yeah,
What?
Space Jam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Space
Space Jam.
Jam.
No.
Yeah.
How long is Schindler's List? Like
At the
4
top,
hours, right?
Schindler's List.
3
At the
hours.
like right below that, Space Jam.
But yeah, I mean, Anyways, that aside, that was my
What's your
callback.
worst favorite movie?
Worst
Is that?
favorite?
What worst favorite movie?
Yeah, what's your worst favorite movie?
What's
Alright,
your what's your favorite movie that is absolutely fucking dog shit?
yeah, it's absolutely dog shit. I don't watch a lot of movies to begin with. That's the thing.
Don't say
Yeah,
Space
and
Jam.
this guy is critiquing Marvel films.
I apologize. I don't have enough experience in watching the
Yeah.
more
Sorry.
critical.
They're not for the unrefined palate.
That's true. I hate to speak after I watch a couple more Marvel movies. I think.
Hold on. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Let's end it there.
My favorite Marvel movie?
And it has to be post Iron Man. You can't
No.
say
It has to be post Iron
has
Man.
to be-
No,
Yeah.
you
no,
can't-
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No,
You
it
can't
doesn't.
say
No,
you
it
can't
doesn't.
say the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
They are in the MCU.
But the MCU started with
That's a
Spider-Man.
spoiler.
Or started with Iron Man.
Yeah. Also, I would say that's a spoiler, but I got spoiled on that by like
I mean, that shit was
magazines.
spoiled. That shit was spoiled like 8 months before the movie came out. Like,
All I know,
That's
I
not
still haven't
true.
seen
That's
the new
not true.
Spider-Man.
They said they weren't in
I've
it.
only seen. I only
Yeah,
know about.
that's
I
why
only
they
know
were
about
all at the
trailers.
airport together.
Don't spoil anything more because I've only seen the trailers and I know that's obvious that happens. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that.
Answer the question.
All right, can we? I actually do want to move on because it's like
Answer the question first.
I-
He's dodging. No, but for real
It
though,
was-
like
it
what's
was
your
Marvel movie,
favorite
right?
Yeah,
Marvel
what is it?
movie?
Yeah, Marvel.
Don't say Blade. Blade's awesome. You don't get to say that.
Which ones have I? Wait a second. Sorry. I don't even know which ones I've watched these days because it's like.
All right, well now you know what you have to do.
Yeah, now you
Yeah,
gotta watch
watch
all.
all of
You gotta
them,
watch
yeah,
all of
watch
them,
Get a
all of
Disney
them.
Plus
then
subscription. Hey man, that's what I did during
Oh
COVID.
my god, fucking.
you will go insane.
No, I can't. I can't answer this question. This is like really stupid. I fucking hate.
Literally,
Like, I don't
other
even
than
want to watch
Iron
this.
Man 1 before COVID, before COVID, the only Marvel movie I had seen, I think, was Iron Man 1. And then
Yikes.
during COVID, I watched all of them in the matter of like 2 weeks or a week.
That's pretty good. I think it's
Consumer.
in
Oh,
terms
yeah.
of like the MCU stuff. It's probably Civil War. Probably. I mean.
Okay.
Name all the characters in Civil War.
It's respectable.
What?
Yeah, name all the characters
Yeah,
and
list
list their
list the
backstories as
sides.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, list their backstory and say which side they were on.
Yeah, you
What
have to
is
list
it?
you have to list their comic backstory though, not the MCU backstory.
Yeah,
That's why I feel like Civil War so much. Who did you relate with?
Yeah, who
Who
are
did I
you rooting
relate
for?
with? What does
Yeah,
that mean?
Side,
When
Who did I
who
empathize
who
with?
did
Who did you
you
side with?
I
who
really.
which character when they were on the screen did you audibly cheer for?
Yeah, who did you side
Did I
with?
audibly cheer for? You mean which one did I feel like I
Yeah,
totally be
whenever
like
they showed up on the screen, you went woo.
yeah, woo, yeah, do the wave, yeah. I mean, I've always been. The thing is, it's like that one was really funny because it's like I'm like morally, I was on the side of Iron Man, but I've always liked the
This guy's
aesthetics
an
of Captain America.
authoritarian.
Yeah, authoritarian, fucking Marxist. But yeah, I've always been a fan of Captain America aesthetics, so it is what it is. But anyways,
hot man.
this tangent.
Yeah, as in hot Chris Evans.
Yeah, pretty much Cocker Sevens, right? It's like we just talked about Sasaki and Miyano and the whole like gay
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
I've always been a
it's
fan
pretty-
of Captain
yeah.
America's
Yeah.
aesthetics too.
I want to read Chris Evans the BL novel here. Is
Does
what
that
I'm
mean
saying.
does that mean you like the Fantastic Four movie?
Oh, I actually do. I actually do.
All
Like, I
right.
know
We're
it's
learning,
like
we're
not
learning a lot. We're
cheesy,
learning a
yeah.
lot here.
But the thing is, I found it
Power
really
loves the
cheesy.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I actually really like the Galactus scene. I love fucking like the idea of like huge like galaxy size like
Yeah.
Galactus. Yeah, I really like those sorts of like villains.
Yeah, okay. I
I
like a
do
big
I
guy
do
in a purple suit, so
I do admit I appreciate that Galactus if I'm remembering right,
Was just like
is
world. It's always like
they
tornado and like in
yeah, they made him pretty obscure, but they like silhouetted his actual thing in the
yeah,
clouds, right? They never like
yeah.
explicitly showed him, but I
They
do
haven't showed him in anything. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I do appreciate that the Fantastic Four movies like they silhouetted his like goofy ass helmet.
Honestly, I just want Galactus in like a movie. Like,
Yeah, I
please,
mean,
just have.
it's hard to be like, yo, Galactus when we're still dealing with like Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Galactus is kind of a big deal, but I'm sure they'll probably get to it eventually. But
I do wish we had real Dormammu.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Anyways,
Did he
this
ever bargain?
all right. Can we can we all right, we actually need to move
Yeah.
on. We've been
yeah,
this is
anime
way too long. Yeah.
podcast, by the way.
All right. Anyways, my fucking shout out was I guess I'll just shout out like the blizzard and the rain and whatever the continual stuff finally ending where I am. So that's my shout out. And yeah, that was my shout out call out. Who do we not call? Dark, right? Dark.
I
Shout
don't
out Call
know.
of Duty.
Shoutouts to that FF14 stream. That was
Yeah,
Yoshi P hit us with hey guys, don't expect any big announcements, and announced that 7.0 is going to have a complete graphics overhaul for the game. Which maintaining most of, the style, but for they had screenshots of 1 month of testing of new character models, lighting, new shading, stuff like
it looks
that,
like a
and
whole new game, dude.
yeah, it looks like
It looks amazing.
FF14 too. Like it's like, oh, okay. So I'm very excited about that, and it's a goddamn shame that that's like probably 2.5 years out, but you it's counting. Actually, no, probably like a year and a half now, right?
I'd say we're probably still 2 years out.
That's true. They did add a whole 2 weeks to the patch cycle, so
Yeah.
that truly devastating stuff, devastating announcements that it's going to be 4 months between patches now instead of real damn shame. But yeah, that stream was awesome. Really good announcements, really fun stuff. Twitch chat was really fucking stupid. You know what? I
Yeah.
think I'll probably call that out. Fucking like Twitch chat being like, no. They're just like, being like, no NFTs, please. And they kind of had to acknowledge the fact that like, what's his name from Square Enix, the CEO or whatever, gave that
Oh yeah,
interview.
yeah. I had that New Year's thing, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, and
Well,
Yoshi
he
P was
had that
basically like,
interview, and he also had that letter
The
that
New
he gave
Year's
out
like shareholder
to,
letter or whatever.
yeah, pretty much all, like, I guess, I don't know if he gave it out to, like, all employees or, like, just, like,
I thought it was a
heads or
shareholder letter.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
General.
yeah, it was just some, like, corporate letter where it's like, yeah, dude, metaverse freaking rocks. I love the metaverse.
No,
which
specifically he
literally
was
And
everyone
it
in
was talking
tech
about like
is
blockchain stuff
saying
as
now.
well.
specifically he was like it's gonna become as common as like regular household items, like or it's gonna hold the same
Yeah.
value. And it's like
Fat
no,
chance,
I
but
don't
No.
but I mean
And everyone was
again,
freaking out.
a
And
Japanese
during the live letter,
tech man not exactly having his finger on the pulse. Wow, what
yeah.
else is new?
During the live letter, Yoshi P started talking about like the metaverse, and chat started freaking the absolute fuck out. Right? He did not mention NFTs a single time. He just said metaverse. And chat was chimping out. And like Yoshi P like saw the chat, and he's like, guys, we are not putting NFTs in FF14. And also, the metaverse doesn't necessarily have to do with NFTs. Like, just calm down. Like he was talking about like the metaverse as a like platform to like advertise and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, Twitch chat being Twitch chat, it's fucking awful.
Yeah. But again, as Near had pointed out during that stream, I think, considering it's Square Enix and Japan, they'll get to doing NFTs 10 years from now when no one cares anymore.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Japan is like super like into NFTs, but I feel like as soon as like Japan starts being like NFT gaming, everybody will have moved on and nobody will care. Like
So this is, I mean, this is not just NFTs. This is like their like pop like culture in general, and this is like, again, sort of what I noticed when I was back when I was a little bit more like doing stuff like research into like music history and stuff like that. And Japan, I've always said this with, at least with their music, and again, this is represented in a lot of their other cultures, is they're either 10 years ahead or like 30 years behind.
yep,
You know what I mean?
it's
It's
one or
like
the other.
there's no, yeah, yeah. And it's with some stuff they're like ahead in terms of like thinking about NFT technology, but in terms of like actually distributing and doing the stuff, they're like, yeah.
Yeah, like these people can't even fucking distribute like globally their major entertainment like export. Like,
Mm,
relax.
yeah.
So, something tells me they're not going to have their finger on the fucking pulse of actually like making use of blockchain or NFTs for quite a long time. I mean, and also it's like I really don't think that anything's going to come of NFTs in gaming. Like, not to say like don't push back about it, but I think it's just
The
going to
issue,
consistently keep blowing up in everyone's faces, and we're
well,
going to move
the
on soon.
issue is the issue is at the end of the day, the way that they're framing NFTs, it's not any different from the microtransactions that we already have, right? It's
Yeah,
not really
Yeah,
that
which
it's
in
like
some cases are already tradable and already able to be cashed out. So
yeah,
yeah.
like,
exactly.
So the issue I see with like NFTs and blockchain technology within the gaming industry is it is not like a new dynamic or technology to the like to games, right? Like
well,
we have like digital tradable items that are contained within an economy already. The only thing I've ever heard from NFT bros that could possibly be uh, a unique element is the like possibility or the I guess perceived possibility of transferring this like digital item from one game to the other. But then that runs into the issue of how is that implemented? Are we reusing assets, or is the one item going to be different in another game compared to the other?
Right, right.
Like what
which
is
still
the
brings up the question of what do you even own then?
yeah like because if the item is changing from game to game, then
Then you
you're not
still only
you don't
own the
really
token.
you don't really own the item. You just
Right,
own
exactly.
something that says like I own this, and it is up to the whims of the developer to dictate what they're giving you and saying you own this. Like you're
Yeah.
not really owning anything. It's just the developer saying you own this, right? Like they could hand you a pile of shit and say you own this, and you're like, well, I did buy this, uh, but it wasn't a pile of shit in the last game. But there's really nothing you can do about that, right? Um, so
You
that's a
know
whole
what I'm
can of
afraid of?
worms.
You know what I'm afraid of? It's
Well,
like they're when they start combining the two buzzwords and they go, "Yeah, we'll give you the NFT, but or the receipt for the NFT or whatever, right? The blockchain receipt or whatever. But it's gonna be have to be stored on the cloud." And so now you're
on
completely
the
fucked,
cloud,
right?
only accessible through the metaverse.
only online. You
I
have to be
still
always
do
online. You all
not
have to be
know
always
what
online.
the fucking metaverse is. It's nothing, correct? Like it's not real. There's like
I
what the
mean,
fuck
the
is the
metaverse is
concept of it?
the metaverse is just a term to refer to like digital like space, right? Like a digital world, right?
It's like
Um,
So it
how
has
like
nothing to do with Facebook.
surfing the internet kind of stuff. Yeah.
no, the metaverse is not directly tied to Facebook. It's not like when people are talking about the metaverse, in
They're
regards to
talking about
blockchain
Facebook's VR
technology.
chat.
Yeah, they're not talking about Facebook's shitty new VR chat. They're talking about
Just the concept of
like
the
like
internet.
the
So the
yeah, like
internet.
the internet, the vast, the great, the wide web, or whatever the fuck. Like the metaverse is just the term that most people are using to refer to like the digital world that is coming in Crypto Bros eyes. Like, you know, fucking
Yeah. So
commodifying
look,
literally
everything.
just
But
just like
You're
nothing.
the air you breathe. Actually, no, you're right. It's even less tangible than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But
yeah. Keep going.
so yeah, the other thing is just that like the play to earn stuff. I mean, we've had games before, and it's terrible, and it doesn't do anything, and it'll be a failure. Um, I would love to know from people who believe in this shit what you think is going to happen when people very quickly realize, wait a minute, play to earn in a game doesn't make any sense. Like I'm playing it for 4 hours and I'm technically like quote unquote earning like 5 cents worth of fucking an NFT.
And
Everyone catches on to that. Like realistically, I think it only took
I
what
mean, there
generation
there
near do
are
you think people like before they realized, oh wait a minute, watching ads to gain currency in a fucking like literally is like nothing.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, when you we've already had like we already literally have examples of games that are trying to do play to earn like gameplay with like blockchain technology, NFTs, whatever, and it literally just creates sweatshops where these people are just playing this game all day to earn
Well,
a
it's
living
it's like
wage.
it's like it's like RuneScape gold farming, but all with on steroids essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it's quote unquote like legitimate. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
not not
wow
not
gold farm.
really. Like it's still just sweatshops of people playing a video game.
Yeah.
But now there's like blockchain technology involved. So
Yeah.
somehow it's like
Now it's the
somehow
future.
somehow
This is the
somehow this
future.
is the future. It's like no,
Yeah,
it's the same shit. Like
yeah, yeah.
you're still selling digital meaningless garbage to other people
Yeah,
to earn a living wage. Like
yeah.
Yeah. And
it's nothing new. Like there's no difference between that and selling gold or selling gil or whatever. Um, or selling like accounts in a game. Like
yeah.
it's all the same thing, except
Yeah.
one has like the blockchain. Uh, but
The
it
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
block.
it doesn't
very
mean anything.
yeah, it's very interesting that like now that you say that pretty much every aspect of it kind of falls under the same blanket of like blockchain literally bringing nothing new to
Yeah, like
that is that hasn't already been
everything
in gaming.
everything that is happening right now with blockchain has been done or is being done in the games industry already. So I really don't see this bright new future that people are trying to push. Like
Yeah, also throwing it out
if there
there.
was literally anything to hold on to, literally any like slim possibility of like something new, I would give it the benefit of the doubt, but I don't see anything at all that's new and never been
Mhm.
done. Um,
Right, right, right.
I
like
mean, and it's also to wrap it up too, like it's not even decentralized, right? Like that's the thing that keeps getting thrown around, like that. It's like, oh, it's like a it's like how crypto is like a decentralized like currency. Like, now with this, it's like we're decentralizing like the ownership of stuff in games, and it's like it's not, because it's someone has to make that game for it to exist and be a thing, and they can change that, and you can
Right.
do nothing about it. So yeah, I mean, Nier, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I don't
Nier,
know,
you
man.
you had brought it up the first time it came up too, just as like final point. You don't even own the games you buy.
Yeah, you own
you
you don't
own
own
a
the video
license to
game.
play it.
You own a license to open the game and play it. Uh, you're buying a software license. You're not buying the software. So, like, you know, uh, I've also seen really insane arguments too, where people are like, "I want NFTs, but like DRM free." And it's what the fuck are you talking about?
So a
Like,
JPEG.
like the entire idea of an NFT is to
I mean, the
like
entire
have
idea of
a
blockchain. Do you
have a
need
network that says I own this.
Yeah, and you can't
This is
pirate
something
it.
that
Yeah,
I own,
exactly.
which
Exactly.
is DRM. That's what
Yeah,
DRM does. But like people like crypto bros are so dumb that they don't understand that like you need a
you
form
need
of
a central
DRM
like
to
checklist that
show
says I own this thing.
this digital asset. Like,
no, that's not what blockchain is, Near. Blockchain is just awesome, okay?
yeah, it's just magic, bro.
All right. Anyways, thank you, Dark. Anyways, the tangent on uh NFTs aside, thank you for your shout out and call out. And last but not least, uh, Near.
Um, well, I mean, I ranted for a while about NFTs, so I won't do that. But as for callouts, I don't know, fucking probably the fact that I'm gonna call out Apex Legends, because
What do you mean, bro? Season 12's been amazing.
so season 12 came out, and in my opinion, it's a fun season. It's a good
It's
season.
a good season in
Um,
theory.
yeah. So the new character came out, right? Mad Maggie came out. She's really fun. She's pretty good. She's not like busted or anything. But I think she's pretty competitive.
Yeah, and
Um,
I would say she fits a spot in between other characters.
yeah. Um, she's no like Octane, but she's pretty good. Um, and obviously, um, new season comes like new map changes and stuff. Weapon rebalances, and I think they got the weapon rebalances fine. But the new map changes are non-existent. Um, they added like one new like structure to the map that doesn't change anything, and that's really about it. And fortunately, the map that they decided to shake up, quote unquote, is probably one of the worst maps in the game. Um, it's really just not very fun to play on, and it's basically unchanged from previous seasons as a whole. So that's kind of lame. On top of the fact that um, Dark and a lot of other people apparently with 30 series cards have just been crashing
It's not
randomly.
just 30.
Uh,
Radeon AMD
right.
cards just also decide to.
Yeah.
It's just anyone
Just a lot of cards.
arbitrarily.
I haven't experienced a single crash, but apparently a lot of people have been. The game just closes for no explainable reason. Um, and then there's also the fact that the character I play is named Watson, right? And her basic thing is she
Wow,
builds,
the Amelia Watson,
yeah,
the announcer of Paladins.
she builds these like electric fences, right? Walls or whatever. And basically, the way you do it is you put down one pylon on the floor, and then you put another pylon down, and the two connect, right? And they build a basically this electric fence thing. And what they're supposed to do is if somebody walks through them, it deals damage and it stuns them, right? And the stun is basically you can't like aim it as well. Like your aiming is slowed, your movement is slowed, your screen gets blurry, um, and that's glitched to the point where it basically just doesn't stun you. Your screen gets a little blurry, but your aiming does not change at all. So that's cool. So my character's kind of just gamped. Uh, and the character's kind of just being like that for the last like 3 seasons. Um, so that's pretty awesome. And then they released the new skin, which is like this like heirloom skin, this super special skin for Bloodhound, and it costs a lot of money to get it right now because it's in this special event where you got to open all these packs, and if you open all the packs, then you get the skin. And it's got this like it's like an evolving skin. So if you do a bunch of damage with the character, the skin sort of changes as you deal more damage, right? The problem is the tracker for the damage is completely fucking glitched, and it doesn't track your damage at all. Um, so a lot of people are having to do like exploits and shit just to like unlock these other versions of this skin that people have paid over $100 to obtain. Um, so a very glitchy season, um,
Mhm.
which is unfortunate because I think it's a pretty good season. I think it's one of the better seasons. Uh, like if it worked, um, in a few seasons, but yeah, it's just very unfortunate. Um,
Yeah.
but shout outs to I'm gonna do a rare shout out. Shout out to Spire, because he bought
What?
me KOF
Oh, yeah, yeah,
15
yeah.
yesterday, a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Um,
yesterday.
so thanks, bro.
No problem.
But yeah,
I want to save you from the whole. I think you had this a couple of times. I mean, I think like almost every other time, but it's like, what is it? The whole like the price, the regional price difference, right? So it's like
yeah,
we were all like, hey, yeah, we got it for $40, and you're over there like, this game is like $200, 200
yep.
Canadian dollars on my head. So I want to save you from that too, I guess. But anyways.
Appreciate it.
Uh, no problem. Thank you, Near, for the shout out and call out. And we are finally done with slightly lengthier podcast. And but yeah, this is part three. We have 2 or 3 more episodes for the winter review. So we'll be going through this. This is I think everybody's at episode 6 right now, right? Around episode 6 or episode 7,
Six,
right?
7, yeah.
Yeah, 6, 7. So we'll probably be doing uh 2, maybe 3 more episodes, doing the review, and then running straight into the spring season. So yeah, again, if you guys have any specific anime series that you would like us to review, please let us know on social media. That'll be on Twitter at 4PPAnimecast. That's with the normal 4. Or on Facebook, 4PlayAnimecast. So hit us up on there for more news updates and if you want to contact us. And if you do like what we do, we stream our podcast recording every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast, again with the numeral 4, where we talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, and so much more. So check us out here. We have our recordings of the podcast in Twitch form, so you can check the Twitch VODs on the VODs page, as well as on YouTube format. So whichever format that you desire. So check us out here. Check us out there, as well as on our social media, and we'll see you next time.